Welcome to the 2024 SYC Super Slam Ohio, presented by Storm Bowling, brought to you by Coolwick, official apparel merchandiser of the Storm Youth Championships, by PBA Junior, the PBA Youth Club for bowlers under the age of 18, and by KEGEL, built for bowling. By Turbo 2-in-1 Grips, 3G Footwear, Master Accessories, Ballard's Bowling Academy, by Pinwheel.us, Customer Relationship Management, by T&D Transportation, and by Quality Respite and Home Care. All scoring is provided by Bowlmetrics, official tournament management system of the Storm Youth Championships. This year, all SYC events and tournaments are aligned with charities, Ballard versus the Big C, and Make-A-Wish Utah. Now, live from Columbus Square Bowling Palace in Columbus, Ohio, it's the 2024 SYC Super Slam Ohio. Welcome to the 2024 SYC Super Slam Ohio, presented by Storm Bowling, brought to you by Coolwick, official apparel merchandiser of the Storm Youth Championships, by PBA Junior, the PBA Youth Club for bowlers under the age of 18, and by KEGEL, built for bowling. By Turbo 2-in-1 Grips, 3G Footwear, Master Accessories, Ballard's Bowling Academy, by Pinwheel.us, Customer Relationship Management, by T&D Transportation, and by Quality Respite and Home Care. All scoring is provided by Bowlmetrics, official tournament management system of the Storm Youth Championships. This year, all SYC events and tournaments are aligned with charities, Ballard versus the Big C, and Make-A-Wish Utah. Now, live from Columbus Square Bowling Palace in Columbus, Ohio, it's the 2024 SYC Super Slam Ohio. Welcome to the 2024 SYC Super Slam Ohio, presented by Storm Bowling, brought to you by Coolwick, official apparel merchandiser of the Storm Youth Championships, by PBA Junior, the PBA Youth Club for bowlers under the age of 18, and by KEGEL, built for bowling. By Turbo 2-in-1 Grips, 3G Footwear, Master Accessories, Ballard's Bowling Academy, by Pinwheel.us, Customer Relationship Management, by T&D Transportation, and by Quality Respite and Home Care. All scoring is provided by Bowlmetrics, official tournament management system of the Storm Youth Championships. This year, all SYC events and tournaments are aligned with charities, Ballard versus the Big C, and Make-A-Wish Utah. Now, live from Columbus Square Bowling Palace in Columbus, Ohio, it's the 2024 SYC Super Slam Ohio. Welcome to the 2024 SYC Super Slam Ohio, presented by Storm Bowling, brought to you by Coolwick, official apparel merchandiser of the Storm Youth Championships, by PBA Junior, the PBA Youth Club for bowlers under the age of 18, and by KEGEL, built for bowling. By Turbo 2-in-1 Grips, 3G Footwear, Master Accessories, Ballard's Bowling Academy, by Pinwheel.us, Customer Relationship Management, by T&D Transportation, and by Quality Respite and Home Care. All scoring is provided by Bowlmetrics, official tournament management system of the Storm Youth Championships. This year, all SYC events and tournaments are aligned with charities, Ballard versus the Big C, and Make-A-Wish Utah. Now, live from Columbus Square Bowling Palace in Columbus, Ohio, it's the 2024 SYC Super Slam Ohio. Welcome to the 2024 SYC Super Slam Ohio, presented by Storm Bowling, brought to you by
Storm Nation.
Hello, hello.
We are back from the SYC Ohio Super Slam. I'm Blair Blumenscheid. Over there is U.S. Open champion Chris Vi. Chris, you've watched some bowling this weekend.
I have.
What would you say about the kids?
Oh, I mean, I feel like every time I come in the booth, I'm talking about how good these kids are getting at such a young age, and yeah, it's really cool to see. Usually I work one, maybe two of these a year, but usually one a year, and it just feels like every time I'm coming back, the talent level is just getting higher, and the kids are getting younger.
Yeah, they're ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, we have 10-year-olds averaging over 200 on sport conditions. I mean, it's kind of insane. So yeah, it's just really fun to watch. It's cool to see and scares me for my future. Yeah.
Yeah, are you doing the math on Bam Bam? Like, when will he hit the tour? Will I be
Yeah,
retired?
I'll probably be in the 50 tour by the time he hits the tour. I mean, he's probably got another 14, 15 years. So, um, yeah, I'll be pushing the 50 tour by then.
Yeah, there you go. All right, well, the bowlers that we are watching are not that far away from the tour.
No.
U18 boys division, we've got Keegan Alexander, Jackson Neubauer, Ryan Burgess, Branton Long, Dominic Winkler, Caleb Shaw, Evan Kenton, Tyler Hernandez, and Edwin Ortiz. Those are the bowlers that we're watching this morning.
Yes.
And they are bowling. Oh, no.
I got it.
Okay. Whew. They are bowling on.
I was doing my research before we got on.
Nice. Medium number 2.
Yeah, medium number 2. So we saw medium number 1 yesterday. It was 43 feet. Today, medium number 2, we've backed it off a little bit, is now 41 feet. 41 feet with less volume than yesterday as well. So a little shorter pattern and less volume. Should definitely see a little bit more hook today. And there's actually a whole lot of forward oil and not a lot of reverse oil. So pattern probably not going to hold up nearly as well either. So we're probably going to be seeing some transition, some moves having to be made pretty quickly. Especially these kids in front of us, obviously with some higher rub rates. They could be kind of eating these lanes up pretty badly to start here. And whenever we see the next few pairs come in, they may be having to make some moves.
Yeah, that's the main thing I heard this morning was it was all about how the transition occurred for players yesterday. We just did our awards this morning. There were some big games. I mean, you were joking because there were some big games after you left the building.
Yeah,
yesterday.
there were.
Yeah, but we did have 3 300s in game 4 of the medium. I'm pulling up. So in the U12 boys division, overall, Aaron Cabanis, Bam Bam as we know him, he's leading the field. He's plus 64. Trevor Mason is minus 136.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a 200-pin lead.
That's fine. It's a good way to start the
Crazy.
day. We've got U12 girls. Alyssa Randisi's leading the pack into today.
Throws it so good.
She does throw it really good. U15 boys. Rush Steen. Now, Rush, if I heard right, I cannot select the right thing today. Rush Steen, look at 280 game 5 of the block yesterday.
Yeah.
To jump into the lead of the round.
I mean, almost 750 his last 3.
Yeah. He really turned it on the last 3. But yes. So then let's look over in the U15 girls. Total. Anna Anthony leading the pack.
No surprise.
Yep. Savannah Portillo, there is a significant lead, but could be made up today.
Yeah, man, it's only 70 pins.
It's not bad.
70 pins. There's 10 games. I mean, even Gracie Dunn at minus 220 there. I mean, realistically, she's really not that far out of it with how many games you got to bowl today. But you're trying to chase down Anna Anthony, and she usually doesn't like to give up too many pins. So
no, she doesn't.
Yeah, so it's going to be a tough test there. But there's a bunch of bowlers. I mean, there's so much bowling left still that pretty much anyone coming into today can make a pretty big move if they bowl well today.
Yeah, Jesse Tacone is leading up the U18 boys right now. He's plus 311. Luke Switalski was one of the 300 game bowlers yesterday. He's in 2nd overall. Max Oken also shot a 300. He's in 5th. And Anthony Hornick was the other bowler who bowled 300, but it looks like he's pretty far back.
He's in 14th there at 80 over, so it kind of gets bunched up there in the U18 boys. There's, from 30 pins is about 7 or 8 spots there.
Yeah, and Caitlin Peck.
Yeah, killing it.
She's having a fantastic tournament.
Killing it.
She's plus 113. She's way ahead. She's nearly 100 pins ahead of 2nd, Amanda Lang. I need to find some info on Caitlin Peck. I'm going to do some texting.
Yeah, of course. She did not fill out the bio.
Why would she?
Did not fill out the bio. It's just overrated. Likes to keep a low profile.
Yeah,
Doesn't want to be known.
Exactly. She doesn't want us talking about her. I get
Except
it.
except for when she gets a gold medal every single time that the round's over. Eventually, people are going to know who you are.
Yeah, you can't hide under the radar.
Yeah.
All right. So, how would you be attacking this pattern this morning if you were these bowlers?
It's a good question. I probably wouldn't be doing what Jackson's doing there, and I can say that because Jackson comes to our pro shop, and we like to give him some crap every now and then. And,
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a good kid.
Just went
and
to two-handed, right?
Yeah, literally maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just came in one day, brought 10 bowling balls in. He's like, "Hey, can you plug these thumbs? I'm going to go two-handed." All right. Like, do I want to try one ball? He's like, "No, just go ahead and plug them all." Okay. All right, whatever you say.
He was committing to it.
He was committing to it,
Yeah.
and honestly, he doesn't throw a bad two-handed at all. Yeah, obviously, still just still pretty new to it, so he's working out some of the kinks, and he's actually working with Jeff Robinson, who
Nice.
was in the booth, I think, on Friday.
Yesterday.
Or yesterday.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was in
yesterday.
the booth yesterday. So if you guys heard Jeff talking to him or talking to you guys, it was that's Jackson's coach. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's if I had to play this pattern, it looks like, I mean, just knowing the pallets in general, there's a decent amount of friction. So I would give the urethane ball a look just to see if it would shape off of that 4 or 5 area. I haven't really seen much, which is telling me a lot because these kids, it feels like that's their first ball out of their bag no matter what. So
Right.
if we're not seeing too many of them go down the lane, it probably doesn't look very good. Yeah, I would probably be trying to have my break point around the 5, 6, 7 area, and then just based on how smooth or how strong of a motion I want would kind of depend on how much angle I'm creating, but probably not trying to create too much.
Yeah. So it looks like it's gonna be touchy today.
Yeah, and ironically, it's 3.28 to 1, so it's really not
Supposed to be.
not supposed to be super tough.
Yeah.
But if there's some hook out there and there's some hook in the middle part of the lane, it doesn't necessarily feel 3.28 to 1. So you got to be able to find that shape and that pattern. And ironically, the shape and the pattern is from like 8, 9 area to 12, 13. So it's actually further left, which could be why Jackson's feeling like he has to go so far left, because the track area just hooks in general in this building, and if that's the part of the lane that it's wanting you to play, great spare conversion there. And but if that's the part of the lane that it's wanting you to play, and obviously there's already some built-in hook there, then yeah, you're going to be having to go pretty far left pretty quick. Another spare conversion. Everyone's making spares today.
Well, was that Ryan? Ryan Burgess? Yeah.
Yeah.
Ryan has heard from Dell and Carolyn Ballard that spares are important a few times.
Yes, they are. So we've had a 3, 4, 6, 7 conversion followed up with a 2, 4, 10 conversion there.
Nice.
Pretty quickly. So absolutely very nice.
Uh-oh. Maybe they're just not awake yet today. I'm not awake yet.
It's an early one. It's raining outside. You just kind of want to stay in bed when it's raining.
Yeah.
And it's hard to get the energy flowing. Yeah, so, well.
And we're starting an hour earlier because we have 2 blocks today.
Yeah, so in like golf, right? When you don't get to go to the range, you have the breakfast ball.
Oh, yeah.
It should be like a breakfast game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so they should bowl 11 today. The first one doesn't count.
That would be, I wonder if kids would like that.
Probably
We should
not.
do a poll.
Probably not. 'Cause I don't want to bowl another game.
I think the U12, I go back and forth on U12 because if there's some kids under 12 that could bowl 100 games
Oh, yeah.
and not get bored.
And there's
And-
some that you're like, come on, only 4 more to go.
Yeah.
Only 4 more. You're like,
Yeah.
4 more? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, there's quite the range down there in that U12 division. So 20 games to them is a lot.
Yes.
Yeah. But maybe the U18 would opt for that fun little extra bonus game.
It would be fun.
It would be. I wonder,
There's
is there any bowling tournament that does that?
I can't remember what tournament it was, but I have seen a tournament. I don't know if I ever bowled it, but I've seen a tournament where you bowl 4 games and you take your highest 3.
I like that.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
like it doesn't necessarily have to be the first game.
Right. It could be
Not
whatever
necessarily
game.
like a breakfast game, but
Right.
yeah, you just drop your lowest score, which is unique because it's like, if it happens to be like your 3rd game, then you can really take advantage of like, I'm just going to throw away this game
Right.
and figure something out the last few frames, so you can, even you don't even have to shoot spares the second part of the game because you're just like, well, I'm not going to take this game, so let me see if I can figure something out and get another good game in game 4.
Yeah, like in that format, you would want the first game to not be the throwaway game.
Yeah.
Because you'd want that ability to transition at some point. So.
Correct. We got a jersey change from Keegan. My man's got 35 in the 30s. He said that one's gone.
He went with his otters.
That one is gone. We went from the Seattle Seahawks, who haven't done anything in quite some time. And, I mean, that's kind of what his game was looking like.
I've heard of ball changes, but jersey change, that's a new one.
He went ball change and jersey change and line change.
He's just, and it was funny because he struck a lot in practice, right?
Yeah. I was telling you, I think he had a 17 bagger, and then one of his last shots in practice, he threw it in the gutter. And then he went to shoot a 10-pin the last shot of practice, also threw that one in the gutter.
Yeah.
And then he missed the head pin the first frame. So it was like, it went from a real high to not so good. And that's kind of what I was talking about with that transition. Like, there's a lot of rev rate on that pair. You got Jackson pretty far left. Well, you do have a lefty, so he's not really doing too much to the lanes. But you got a couple guys to the right, a couple guys to the left. Yeah, so it's a little bit of everywhere. So, yeah, these lanes are going to be changing pretty quick and transitioning pretty quick. So
Yeah, and Dominic Winkler, that's stepping up on 34 here, he earned the silver
yes,
on
yeah,
the medium yesterday.
Yep, had to figure out how to get the metal around his ponytail and his glasses at the same time. That was quite the challenge.
Yeah. He's got a good look, though. It's like, he owns his look.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he's like...
No,
yeah.
nothing wrong with the
Yeah,
look.
no,
It's
yeah,
just
yeah,
it makes it harder for me.
Yes,
Yeah,
of
so, like,
course.
when all the girls come and they have like clips in their hair and
Alyssa has pigtails.
yeah,
Those are
and,
tricky.
and they got ponytails and then they got glasses on. I'm just like, my goodness, we need bigger medals.
they are a little tight.
Yeah, we need bigger medals is what we need.
I forget who it was. Christian Mouton. He has a large fro, and the metal does not always fit over the fro. Sometimes it gets stuck.
You gotta wear like a bandana.
Yeah. Ah, that was a good shot by Caleb. I like that line.
Yeah. So this one we might see a little less variety, I would say, in how they're playing the lanes. I know you talked about medium patterns yesterday being kind of the tricky ones because there's really a pretty much an infinite amount of things that you're able to do. But this one's kind of telling you to be in a specific place, and that part of the bowling center is kind of the place you want to play anyway. So I think this one's going to be a little more defined where you got to be, and I think we're going to see kids end up being a little further left and kind of bouncing it off of that 6, 7, 8 area. Keegan's moved in there. Jackson started in there. Ryan's in there now. He just had a great shot.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we're starting to see the kids figure it out a little bit, at least on 33 and 34, and got some decent games started here on 35 and 36 as well. I know Tyler's made a ball change to something a little bit weaker, and that one's just a little up the middle part of the lane there. So
Yeah, Tyler had that spare, and then he put his hands up like, I finally did something. And then he struck after it. So
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
was momentum.
Exactly.
Have you had tournaments like that where you just like literally can't do anything?
Oh, absolutely. I have no shame in talking about this. And the first game of the long pattern in for the doubles this year, the PBA doubles, um, they typically don't make them too hard for the PBA doubles. We bowl on a shorter pattern that's fairly simple, fairly straightforward. We have a longer pattern that's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. They like to see high scores, and then we go into Baker matches. Obviously, they want big scores. They want us to bowl well, and I won't say it's too laid back because obviously we're still bowling for a PBA title, but um, it it's leaning more towards a fun event than anything else. But it's still obviously highly competitive, and yeah, I shot 123.
Nice.
Yeah, but team we shot 400.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So Darren had 277, and I had
like,
I had
dude,
123.
my back is killing me.
Yeah, and I mean, I missed one spare,
Wow.
but like everything I did,
Just
it was
couldn't-
just yeah. I mean, it was I made a move, it didn't do the right thing, so I changed balls. It didn't do the right thing, so I made a move with that ball. It didn't do the right thing. Then I tried something else. It didn't do the right thing. It just felt like everything I did was max penalty. I washed out a couple times. I split a couple times. And I just felt like I was like I just don't think I'm bowling that bad, but it just felt like everything I did was wrong, and it feels like it can go that way very quickly. Now it doesn't seem like it does, at least for that long a period of time. But I came back. I centuried myself. I actually doubled myself the next game. I shot 258 the next game.
Nice.
Yeah, I ended up 50 over for a 5-game block with 123 start. So it did change. It did turn around pretty quickly. Thank goodness. But
I usually do the opposite. I have a really good game, and then, like at Open Championships a year ago, I had a 250 and then a 120.
Oh yeah.
And same thing, right? We called it an emoji game because at the
Oh
Open
yeah,
they
yeah.
like
Yeah,
circle.
the circle. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like creating these faces on the board.
They're just
I'm
staring at you.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't do anything, right? So
Yeah, and it's I mean it happens. It happens to the best of us. It happens to I mean anyone at any given time it can happen to, and unfortunately that is bowling doesn't care who you are or what you're doing. It can be lethal at times.
it's a great shot by Jackson over there.
Yeah, Mikey McKinney here just threw a fantastic shot. Got a great release. He's got a double now.
Dominic going for a turkey.
Man, he does not miss it at the bottom.
No, he doesn't.
No, he does not. I can see why he bowled pretty well yesterday.
Right. Ryan is lined up. I don't want to jinx him, but I don't think I can because he is just 1 point.
Yeah.
And through
Great
a
shot
messenger.
there of a messenger.
Good job, Ryan.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see these kids once they move pairs. I'm thinking probably, I don't know about right away because it depends on obviously who you follow. But I mean, at the end of this game, I can see those bowling balls having a hard time striking. Keegan's already kind of having that same issue. I know he struck the last frame, but he had 9 spare before that.
Might go quick.
Yeah, the ball is just a little too slow, a little, just a little too round. I think you need something a little quicker, but, we'll see if these kids can figure it out.
Now, when you say round,
Yeah.
you want to explain that for the parents that are listening?
More kind of that banana shape, just a very smooth. I mean, that's kind of how, if you think about it, right? Just a very arcing, just slow transition, just smooth, very gradual change of direction. And then quicker would be more of a violent change of direction, kind of more of what the pearlized bowling balls typically will give you.
Yeah, that skid flip that everyone's like, I want that.
Yeah,
But you don't always
the
need
one
that.
the ones that look cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so even there's a good shot there by Keegan, but again, he can probably get some 10s out more than most people just with ball speed and rev rate, but Ideally, to me, that does not look like great ball reaction.
Yeah.
But we'll see what he can manage. Again, I think he'll be able to kind of jam it in there. Like I said, the lanes aren't terribly hard. Definitely a little bit more forgiving than last night. So we'll see if he can just kind of take advantage and kind of camp out there maybe for a game and get to the next pair and see what he's got to do.
It looks like if you're in like left enough, they are getting nice in there.
Yeah. I think like
It'll
I said,
develop
that's where the shape of the pattern is, and just the amount of hook in this building in the track area is kind of just defined to where that's almost giving you miss room to the right, and then the length of the pattern can give you that miss room to the left. So
now it'll be interesting. I don't know how the girls are playing them, but when the girls go into the guys today, that'll be interesting.
Yeah, we could see some struggles to kind of get the ball to go through the pins for some of the ladies. But now, as many two-handers as we have, and even one-handers with higher rub rates, they're able to hook it just as much. So I don't think they're going to have too much of a problem. But you can get to some of these pairs, maybe game 4, game 5, where some of these kids are really, really far left. Then it could be one of those 2-0 games. Fantastic.
Brandy with the turkey. Keegan is having a morning. I don't know where he just went after he finished, but he went running. Now he's back.
I just think that's Keegan. Like if his, I feel like his energy level is like when he goes to sleep, it might be 100.
Yeah.
And like when he wakes up, it's like 375. He just everything is like super fast paced. Like he throws it hard. He walks back fast. Just everything is like amplified, very, very amplified.
Yeah. Oh, tough spare for Nathan, but he nails it.
Yeah, keeping that good game going. 131 in the 6th, spare in the 7th.
Love it. And he strikes.
Yeah, another good shot there.
It was the jersey change.
It was.
There you go, kids. If the ball change isn't working, give it a jersey change.
Yeah, and like I said, probably not ideal ball reaction, but at the same time, right, you can still make less than ideal ball reaction work, and he's definitely doing that right now, taking advantage of some really good shots that he's throwing, and see if he can kind of bail out this game. And sometimes on those pairs where maybe you're just not quite matched up or not quite seeing the picture, even if the ball is not necessarily going through the pins the right way, you just ride with it. Like, hey, I know it's not quite doing the right thing, and he's a smart enough bowler. He probably knows that it might not be the greatest ball reaction in the world, but he's got a triple on a pair that he's only had struck once on prior. So he's probably just gonna ride or die with this one and see if he can kind of get as much as he can out of this one and move on.
Absolutely.
Don't have to have 260 ball reaction at all times. It'd be nice. It'd be nice. But it just doesn't happen.
It would be great, wouldn't it be? But then it wouldn't. I don't think it would be as fun if it wasn't challenging.
Yeah, you got to have some, confusion. You got to be able to figure it out at some point in time. As much as we hate it, it kind of keeps you coming back.
It's true. So Keegan Alexander was 6th going into this morning, plus 119.
Yeah, decent start.
Yeah.
Where's Ryan Burgess at?
I know.
He just missed, but he's still got 250 out there if you can get this spare.
He is 36th going into this morning.
Okay, so
minus 71.
Yeah, minus 71, but
I don't know where the cash line is for this event, or the scholarship line, I should say. But I think a lot of the kids, if they start eyeballing that Sunday morning, right? Like, okay, well, if I'm not going to make it to a medal.
But, hey, he's got, 10 games to go. And,
he's
if
good,
he can shoot 250 here, he's, just about 20 under, and he can make up a lot of ground.
Absolutely.
Nice
Not
spare
to
there
mention
from Keegan.
that the PBA Junior Never Give Up scholarship normally is in play this morning, but it's actually in play this afternoon because it's always the final round.
Oh, okay.
So we give a $250 scholarship to every bowler who leads their division in each division, and it's donated by the PBA,
Mm-hmm.
PBA Junior, and it's designed for these kids to realize like you could have the worst tournament that you've ever had, and you still could win the last block.
Yeah.
And you get a little bonus scholarship.
A little
right?
extra bonus. You love
Yeah.
that.
Never give up.
Never give up.
Easier said than done sometimes.
Oh, trust me, I am very well aware of that one. There's some days where you feel like there's a bowling alley or a bowling ball dropping on your head, and you're just kind of getting hit into the ground slowly but surely.
Yeah.
All right, it's a big little bounce back here from Jackson.
So do you know, you might not know, but do you know what they're working on, like the two-handed, like what, if you have a bowler that wants to do what Jackson did, right? Like he woke up one morning and said, I think I'm going to go two-handed today. And I don't know that that's what happened, but what are
It sure
some of
seems
the,
like it.
what are some of the steps that, that bowlers should take if they are in that situation?
Yeah, it honestly depends. Like, you know, because obviously everyone throws it different, so there's different tendencies. There's different, you know, just you know, it's completely dependent on the person themselves. But I will say, more times than not, when people go two-handed, they tend to use their upper body more than they should, and they don't use their legs to generate the power. So if I had to pick one thing, it would be, you know, trying to work on quieting the upper body a bit more, and focusing a bit more on kind of footwork to use to create some ball speed rather than trying to use the upper body rotation to create ball speed. So
that makes sense.
Yeah, but I mean, they're from Keegan and Jackson both to have, you know, a couple of 190 games when it wasn't looking so good halfway through. That's great. It's very, very good. Another good shot there from Ryan. Still got 250 left out there.
Stephanie Alexander is calling out Jeremy Combs because apparently no one has taken Keegan to Moj yet, and that's why he's bowling back.
I did see that on Facebook.
Man.
That they were waiting and Jaden wasn't here, so.
Jeez.
Yeah, unbelievable.
You gotta keep the players with their routines.
Do you like Moe's?
You know,
I don't either.
I like
their queso is incredible. But
yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
I would
Keegan's a really picky eater, though. I think he eats like one thing.
Yeah, I think I've heard that.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm not a big Moe's. I loved Chipotle in college. Chipotle was like my jam.
Man, has it gone downhill?
Well, yeah, and for years I didn't actually eat it because I got sick. And so you know when you eat something and you get sick, you're like,
avoid it.
yeah. So I just recently I just recently started going back, and you're right, it's not the same.
It's not the same, and it's like every time I go in there, they're missing 3 or 4 ingredients, and it's like, dude, it is 6 p.m. and there's a line. What do you mean you're not making any more chicken?
Yeah, right. We had that happen.
What? Oh,
yeah, we were
everywhere.
in Orlando.
Everywhere, it's unbelievable.
It was ridiculous. We were in line, and they were announcing to this giant line, and it was the same thing. It was like 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
There was still an hour, and they're just announcing we're out of chicken.
Oh, yeah.
And we're like, what do you mean you're out of? And then they were out of chips.
Oh, that's like 90% of the Chipotles you go to now. They just
I don't even understand.
Yeah, I'm convinced the workers just like they'll make one thing, like one thing of chips. Like when it's gone, they're like, I'm not making any more.
Yeah, we're done.
Oh yeah, I'm not making any more. We're just whatever we got. And it's like, yeah, it's just wild.
Yeah. So Leanne, she had a bad experience this week at a Panera, which Panera is our go-to, and we don't have Panera in Utah. So, like, we just like the salads and the soups and everything. She walked into a Panera. She looked up what time it closed. It was close to closing time, right? She walked in at like 7:50. It was closing at 8. She said, "Can I still order food?" And they were like, well,
It's
she's
like,
like,
you guys aren't closed yet.
yeah, she's like, you have 10 minutes. Like, they're like, well, we started to put the food away. She's like, so I can't order food.
Yeah.
And they were not like answering yes or no.
Yeah.
So she
They
just
didn't want to.
Yeah,
They were
she
like,
was like, I'm just leaving.
we should take this order, but I don't want to. That
Right.
means we got to clean up more. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is wild. It is wild. But
So pretty much, if you look at someone's closing time, it's actually like it
oh,
could be
at
hours
least,
before.
At least 30 minutes before. If you're 30 minutes in,
Yeah,
just be prepared to not get what you want.
yeah, it's unreal. All right, Chris, I do think we have another college coach stopping in next round. The coach of St. Ambrose will
Oh,
be
right.
joining us, Eric.
Yeah.
And then, are you gonna hang around?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Maybe game 3, you can pop back in, go scout some lanes for us.
Yeah.
See
Yeah. I'll
what's-
walk
see what's
around,
happening.
see what people are doing, and kind of go from there. Haven't seen. I mean, for the most part that I've been here, I've been kind of centralized around the desk and haven't really moved around a whole lot. So
Yeah.
we'll walk around and
We
see some
haven't
different
really
people.
seen the U18 girls. I'm hoping the U18 girls come through here today. They've been like hiding or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah,
Not
I
sure
think.
what's happening.
Well, I just looked down there. I just saw Gianna walk back from a shot. So
Okay.
I think they will be coming probably game 3, if I had to guess, somewhere around
Okay, cool.
there.
So maybe we'll get some girls. We had the U12. The U12s are fun to watch.
Oh,
You got
yeah.
to watch that with Rob.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to see Mini Daria.
Oh, Mini Daria.
Yeah, Mini Daria.
Yeah.
Yeah. She doesn't throw it like Daria, but
Yeah.
she's decked out, got the jersey and everything. So
Oh, that's little Taylor. Yeah.
Yeah.
She is a huge Daria
Yeah,
fan.
yeah.
It's fun to see when someone, like I do see some players that have modeled their game after you and then they dress like you too,
Yeah.
which is really cool. It's like, okay, you're like,
Keegan was one of those.
right.
It felt like every time I made a new jersey, Keegan had it, and now he's old enough to
make his
be,
own.
be like, that's not cool anymore.
Do you know why he made an Otter jersey?
I don't.
So I don't know if this is the real story or if he just came up with it, but when he debuted the Otter jersey, he told me he made the Otter jersey because do you have anything bad to say about an otter?
No,
Yeah, that's why I made it.
it's fair enough. I mean, can't really argue that one.
You can't hate an otter. You can't dislike an otter.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, we are going to take a short break, and Chris will be back in game All right, we are back, and I am joined by none other than Eric Liddick. Eric,
Hi, Blair.
welcome to the live stream booth.
Good to be with you.
So you came all the way to Ohio. Did you drive out here?
Yep. 8
Man,
hours.
8
A little
hours.
under 8, yeah.
And you're here coaching some players.
Yep.
Are you doing a little recruiting?
Yep. Oh,
Yep.
yeah. Yep.
Second time of year, right?
Always got your eye out there for the talent in the coming years. Yep.
There's a lot of talent out there. That's
It's
what
amazing.
we keep talking about, like Tyler Galbraith here.
Oh, yeah.
He's a stud.
Yeah,
Braden Anderson, Justin Stanford. Let's see who
yeah.
else we have on this pair.
Yeah, it's amazing when you come to the big events like this. I know I sound like a broken record, and I keep saying I sound like a broken record, but every year the talent gets deeper and better.
Oh, yeah.
And
It's amazing.
these kids live for these major events like this. The Super Slam every year in June brings out the best.
Absolutely.
Longer format, 4 patterns. Yeah.
All right, so the bowlers we're watching, we got Trey Henriksmeyer, Nicholas Trentler, who was the leader of the short pattern yesterday morning,
Yep.
Joseph Dominguez, Keaton Connington, Carson Reed, Daniel Robertson, Braden Anderson, James Drehobel III, Tyler Galbraith, Justin Stanford, Spencer Burisma, and Jay Schofield. That's a studded
yeah.
lineup right there.
Trey Henriksmeyer, he's going to Wichita next year. He's
Incredible.
Everybody knows him. Yep.
He just won a regional,
Oh, yeah.
PBA regional.
I was
like
there that
adult.
weekend. Yep.
It's
Yep.
amazing.
James Drehobel here on the right lane on 36. He's from Florida. Throws the ball very nice. I know he's struggled this weekend, but physically he throws the ball nice.
You got
Carson
that one to
Reed
go.
from Iowa on 33. That's one of the kids that I'm helping here. He just made a big move and a big ball change because he had the front 3 the first game and shot 173. So
Nice.
looked good, and then the rest of the game kind of got lost.
Now, is he a current student at St. Ambrose or
No, he's a junior in high school.
junior
Yeah.
in high school?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Daniel Robertson, been a good bowler for a while too. He throws the ball phenomenal.
Yeah, he does. Spencer here. I like his game.
Very
It's on it.
simple.
Yep. Missed that one a little bit.
Yeah, sometimes kids that are pretty strong and get it a little further away from their ankle like that, they can muscle and get away with it, but when it goes awry, it's a little wild sometimes.
Tyler keeps getting better every time I see him. Keeps leveling up.
His balance,
So good.
yeah. Dominguez here, he had great success in the PBA Junior. He's got kind of an unorthodox step through there on his final step, but his balance is good in spite of it.
Absolutely. So, Eric, why don't you talk a little bit about how did your season go this year?
Went very well. I mean, we finished the year, the PowerPoint's ranked number 6, and we had, at every tournament this year, we had either 5 or 6 freshmen on our varsity lineup.
That's amazing.
So we had one of the younger teams in college bowling, and we made nationals by the skin of our teeth. We had to fight hard at sectionals to get through there. That's always a nerve wracker when you're on the bubble, fighting with other teams to get in.
For sure.
And we lost our first 2 matches. We qualified 4th. And who do we draw our first round? Wichita State.
That's
We've
big,
struggled with them over the last 3 or 4 years at nationals, but who hasn't?
Absolutely. Powerhouse.
Yeah, and then Pikeville beat us in the next round. Pikeville has a really good squad too.
Yeah, for sure.
So overall, the season was a good success. We got a good class coming in this year too. So, but there's more and more good college teams. It gets harder and harder to compete because there's so many good teams out there. And it's events like these that get them ready for college bowling.
That's the hope.
Yeah.
It's a little prep for junior gold, a little prep
Yes.
for college bowling, a little prep
Well,
for a little bit of everything.
Yeah, next month at Junior Gold, I mean, you got roughly not quite 200 kids here today, and next month at Junior Gold there'll be, 3,000 to 3,500, and most of these kids will be there.
Absolutely. Yeah. A lot of them are talking about what they're learning for the next round of things.
Oh, You throw it that good on a tough, demanding pattern, and you leave the stone 8.
Not nice.
You have to be patient. You have to say, I can't throw it any better than that. And I always say, we'll get that back. Maybe a Brooklyn or a cave in, something down the road to make up for that. But on a strike, too, it just seems cruel, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah, I'm so sad because we got our
Oh, no.
Maryland crew over on 30, just to the right of our live stream pair, but I'm having issues with that camera down there by you. So I can't. I have two camera
you
angles.
can pivot it a little bit?
Well, I have two camera angles. That one just isn't reading right now, so we're missing Bobby. Bobby, this is his first SYC ever. He's not from Maryland, but first SYC ever and last SYC ever because he ages out.
Oh, wow.
So, and he had a great round on the short
He
yesterday
did.
morning.
He finished second or third, didn't he? Second,
Yeah,
I think.
yep.
Yeah.
We got Eden Watts over there.
I'm not familiar with that young man, but I just saw him throw one shot. It's like, whoa, that was pretty impressive.
Yeah, I don't know much about him either, but this is his first SYC, and he was wearing an EYT jersey, so he bowls Deandra's events yesterday, not today, but anyway. But I can't switch to that camera because something's going on with that camera. So,
well,
for anyone trying to see Eden, I apologize.
Yeah, Carson, there's bowlers playing further right and further left, and I can't say that there's a right or a wrong answer on this. It's whatever you choose, you better be doing it well.
Yeah, and you know, I just in these 4 lanes, the first game, the bowlers, we were watching U18, and the bowlers that jumped in did find a little more success than the bowlers that tried to stay to the right, just because there was a more defined track.
Yeah, we chose to play in.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of misroom right, and if you
No.
cut it off, it's got no chance to push at all.
Yeah.
It's gonna hook instantly, right like that shot right there that Daniel just threw on 34. He's trying to beat it, stay right a little bit with some speed, but it's really easy to throw it through it like that.
Yeah, that was a great shot by Justin. Mr. Stanford there. Trey is sad that this is Spencer's last SYC. I'm sad too. All the last SYCs that we have happening. We just passed out some stickers to our bowlers that are aging out.
There's
this
a lot
year.
of them every year at
There's
this
a
event.
lot of them, yeah. So if Spencer didn't pick up his sticker this morning, Trey, you can let Mike Sinek know. He can go pick up his sticker in the tournament office.
I
we have
always
a
say
couple
it's
left.
like the college season. You always, every year you're going to have seniors bowling their last tournament
I know.
with you, and
It's so bittersweet.
Yeah, you've spent 4 years with them, being there with them, and it's very, very sad.
Yeah.
And then you have to get over that because the anticipation's high for the new ones coming in.
Exactly.
And 4 years from now, they'll be in that same boat. Everybody goes through that. That's
Absolutely.
the hardest thing for me, being the emotional sap that I am, is seeing kids bowl their last of anything.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
there's new chapters ahead for them.
I liked that shot Trey just threw.
That's what I talked about down lane. It's just hard to get it to read. You force it down there to get it through the early hook, and then it doesn't see it. It just kind of hangs on you a little bit. But on a lower scoring pattern, if you're a good spare shooter, you can be patient and make your spares and keep plugging away, because I don't think this is going to be a high scoring pattern at all.
Yeah, well, I saw the scorekeepers start going around to collect scores into bowl metrics, so
They
we'll
should
be able to
in there
pull that up.
pretty soon,
Yeah, we'll pull that up in a few minutes and see what we got. This is always because even in the live stream, we have a very narrowed focus on the 4 pairs we're talking about. Or I'm sorry, the 2 pairs we're talking about usually. And so it's always interesting when I start pulling up the scores, because sometimes the live stream pairs are low, sometimes they're high, sometimes.
That's why when you're bowling, you only see a certain number of pairs. You
Yeah.
kind of got an idea on what the scoring pace is, but you're not always going to be right because you can't see the whole field.
Right.
Just
Gotta
like you were
see.
saying,
Yeah,
yeah.
you gotta gauge the scoring pace. I'm not a
Yeah.
score. When I bowl, I'm not a score watcher. but I do like to see the pace.
It's more fun to score watch when you're not bowling. I know that for me.
Amen. Yeah. I think there's always a defined bowler, right? The ones that want to know the score that they have to beat, and the ones that
When I bowled, I
don't.
did because I wanted to know, did I need to gamble to maybe make a significant ball change or
Right.
move to try to shoot 240 and get a check or get in the finals or whatever? Or could I, if I was sitting good and I wasn't throwing that good, maybe I stay pat with what I got? Or
Right.
everybody's different.
Nick Trentler, a little high, 4-pin.
And if you want to see an example of somebody in the field that's trying to, take this lane out of play a little bit and beat it with some speed, that's his bread and butter. That's his A game. He likes
Yeah.
to throw it hard.
Throwing it hard, staying to the right with urethane.
Mm-hmm.
That's one strategy when Chris was breaking down the patterns.
Yeah, yesterday's afternoon's pattern, through 3 games, through 2 or 3 games, I can't remember what, but there were only 11 guys in the U18 division that were plus 20.
Sure.
And then craziness happened when we had 3 300s in a matter of 10 minutes.
It was insane.
And those are the only 300s we had. And they all came boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. Yep. They were all in game 4.
Yeah, and all by very good players.
Really good. Max Oken, though, this is his very first SYC.
And he shoots a 300. That's a memory you're never going to have to give
Yeah,
back. You're
his
going to have
mom
that
was
with
super
you.
excited today. So.
And Luke Swatolski had the second one.
Yep.
And he's outstanding rising star. I mean, I can't say rising star. He's already a star.
He's fantastic.
Yeah, and then Anthony Hornick from North Carolina doing it. And I watched that game, and he flushed them all. I don't ever remember any of them that weren't close on that.
Anthony's another solid player. This is his last SYC with us.
Yep.
His dad was a little teary-eyed when he came in and said it's going to be our last one. And so, it's sad for the bowlers. It's sad for the parents too.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's these parents travel around and get to know each other. And
the bowling community is a big family. I mean, I'm sure a lot of sports and activities can say that, but the bowling families are pretty close knit, and everybody's rooting for everybody. I mean, you find yourself rooting for somebody you've never even seen in your life before.
Absolutely.
You want them to finish off that big game. And if you're paying attention to the scores in this, there's doubles and turkeys, but boy, when you don't hit the pocket, you're going to leave something a little wacky, it seems like, because the overreaction on the pattern.
It's like we're missing.
Scores are up.
We're missing like the pair right in front of us. Actually, someone needs to hand me their
Oh yeah,
sheet.
yeah. That pair hasn't been in on 33 and 34.
Yeah, I'll just add in these scores since I'm sitting here, and then we'll be pretty close. Who's on that one?
All right, we're going to have scores here shortly for game 1.
All right. Sometimes it's easy to just miss a couple score sheets in the as people are moving and.
I just got a case of deja vu because I remember sitting here with Gary 2 years ago here on Sunday morning.
I know, right?
I just thought of that just now.
Yeah.
Because last year they didn't have it here. They were going through a remodel here.
Yeah, they did a big lane remodel here at the Columbus Square Bowling Palace. The Palace is a fantastic tournament center. They host a lot of tournaments.
Yeah.
But they also have a lot of recreational play. And so they did a big remodel with Cubica. And you know what? I just put in the scores, and Daniel Robertson had a 252 game.
He had the front
Game
7. Game 1.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, this is a beautiful tournament center. Concourse is about as big as you're going to see in bowling. So there's plenty of room to get through. As soon as I say nobody's tripping over each other, somebody will, but I hope not.
All right, so with that, let's look at these scores here. So currently leading the field on the medium 2 pattern, as we're calling it. Sebastian Huffman, 257. Griffin Jordan, 256. Daniel Robertson, 252.
3 250 games on that. That's pretty good.
Yep. Ryan Burgess just pulled in front of us on the 33 and 34. He got in, he got lined up, shot 244. He's in fourth, and Chance McLean is in 230. Bowled a 236 and that rounds out the top 5. Spencer at a 234. He's in sixth, tied. So scores are high.
Well, if you look at that though, there's only 13 or 12 players with 220 or more.
That's true
out of
too.
91.
Yeah,
So
that is true.
if you look at the top scores, you know, in any tournament, you look at the top scores, you think scores are higher, and if you look at the bottom scores, you think scores are low. But
That's
you kind
true.
of look at the middle of the pack, you kind of see what the pace is.
Yeah, and you know what? Only 24
Yeah.
or 23 are plus.
And
So yeah,
that's exactly
Yeah.
a fourth of the field. So 3/4 of the field is under. And again, you know, when you bowl competitively, you get that 15-minute or 10-minute. In this case, 15.
yeah,
So you think theoretically, okay, so the lights come on and you have the benefit of knowing this pair. Doesn't mean you have the benefit of throwing good shots, but it means you have the benefit of knowing this pair, whereas the rest of the tournament, you go to a fresh pair and you got to get lined up all over again.
oh, absolutely.
So if you've got game 1 and there's 3/4 of the field that are under right now, tells you that it's a little tricky. And
Trey's ball's just not seeing it too, like you're talking about, right? Like
yeah, he started here and then he went to urethane and played right, and it looked okay, but I can't say that it looked any better than this.
Well, it looks like that ball that he's throwing might just be too weak. I'm not sure. It
Either
looks
too
like
weak or not enough surface.
Yeah,
or a combination.
absolutely. It looks like almost an IQ Tour Emerald. I'm not sure if that's what it was, but it definitely did not.
This is a pick your poison pattern, as I call it. If you go with a big ball to try to create some reaction, when you make a mistake, it's going to be dramatic. Whereas if you pick something that is a little weaker, like you just said, maybe you don't quite strike as much, but maybe and then it went long again, and he comes in behind it and takes the 8 out of it. So yeah, wherever you're playing and whatever you're throwing on this, you better be committed and you better be executing.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to bluff your way to 50 over on this pattern.
Here's Spencer. I really like where he's lined up. Oh, that was so
Yeah,
good.
he's trying to middle it. He's not as far left and he's not as far right. He's trying to middle this pattern, and your reaction is going to be okay, I think. But you're going to leave more makeable stuff if you miss, I think. But there's just no magic formula on this.
No, and I liked that shot. I think he got it a little in. I think he was trying to get it to that tracer down lane. I think he got it a little in, but he's
Yes, it
throwing
was
an
in.
absolute. And I would like to see him with a little more surface too.
Yeah,
I
to
think
smooth it out.
Yeah.
Well, and Nick Trentler there on the left lane again.
Or
just a smidge firm, and it just kind of hung on him a little
that's
bit.
what you.
But again, if you make a mistake, or I don't even know if that was a mistake, it just went a little long. It's a simple spare, and he's 7 over this game right now, and he's clean. He's got he's got a double early and 3 9 spares, and boy, I can think of a lot of the people right now bowling that wish they had that.
Yeah.
So if you're close, you can't really change a whole lot. Sanforth right here has figured it out. He's going in the 10th frame with a shot at 260.
I think this is one of his first events, and he's doing great here.
So now that didn't look that bad. He might have stood up on that a little bit, but still, to leave a single pin on that, go a little high.
Man, when he watches this back, he's going to go, I bowled so good on the live stream. I love it.
My bowler was just asking me, one of my bowlers, he just left a washout. He's had one strike this game. He's struggling. He's got 70 in the 5th. And again, if you're a little short with it, it's going to go sideways on you. It's not going to push down the lane. You got to make your own push right now.
100%.
And if you're playing in, you've got to work harder to make your push. If you're playing right, you got to work harder to make the ball react a little bit. So again, pick your poison, as I
Yeah,
call it.
right?
And that's what kind of what mediums are.
Oh, yeah,
On short, everybody plays right, you know that.
right.
On long, theoretically, you play left, but there's more long patterns that allow you to play right for temporarily until you have to make that big move. But some medium patterns, they give you options, but then you
I
got
think this one, we were talking earlier, Chris and I were, this house has such a defined track that this one really is abnormally dictating where you should be playing, right? Because it, especially for the boys with a little higher rev rate,
yeah.
it is going to be a little trickier to stay to the right, but you have to be far enough left.
I always say there's, on your higher friction surfaces, it's not as hard to find ball reaction, but then how much is too much ball reaction?
For sure. Yeah.
Buried that one.
Yeah.
Oh, and I didn't see Justin on a six bagger.
Oh, yeah.
Left
He's
that four
killing
pin
it.
and missed it. But
Oh, yeah.
you
No.
don't want to scold yourself over a missed spare.
He
'cause
still
you
shot
still had
230.
230 with two
Yeah.
opens.
This is one of his first SYCs. That's a great game.
Yes, any way you get to 230 is a good game.
Absolutely. I thought you were talking about James. James Strahobel here. He has a six bagger
Yeah,
into the 10th.
he's got 248 possible
Yeah.
up there on the board. I know yesterday he was right beside a couple of our players and he struggled on his spares.
Yep.
Physically, you watch him throw it; it's very impressive. I believe, and he's had some success down there in Florida. He's bowled well in tournaments down there. That's a good shot. That was a really good shot.
Really good shot.
Yeah. But see, it just, even if you throw it good, it just labors a little bit off the end of the pattern, and he left that kind of weak swish 7. But you can't change anything on that. You were in the pocket. Yep. And you just had 6 in a row.
Yeah. I bet he wanted that one, though, so he might be able to do something in that fill to
Of
try.
course.
Like, those fill balls are so crucial right now.
Yeah.
Got to spare, though. No worries there.
Yeah, in college, when somebody says, hey, on the fill ball, I'm going to try this. And I'm like, let's get to the fill ball first.
Yeah.
Because you may not get one. See, Galbraith there started with a turkey, and now you got to convert the 310 and the 10th to shoot 200. It happens so fast.
Yeah. Good shot by Carson. I like where he's playing.
Yeah, that was a good shot. Again, it just a little weak when it got there, but
I really like it. I wouldn't make a
you're-
move on that.
no, if you're in the
Yeah.
pocket, you got to stay in the pocket.
Yeah. Especially
you
with the game he's having, I would just say, like,
yeah.
just get comfortable where he's playing. And
Yeah, when you start to go strike hunting on a hard pattern, you can take yourself right out of the pocket as soon as you found it.
exactly, right?
And this is what I talk about on a lower scoring pattern. Spares are even more and more crucial. I mean, even on high scoring patterns, they're crucial because everybody strikes a lot on high scoring patterns, so it's who makes their spares.
Absolutely.
But on this kind of stuff, there's not necessarily that 4 or 5 bagger around the corner to make up for it. And as soon as I said that, he was left out of his hand.
Yeah, there's a lot of the highest game I see around us is 248, but more low games than not.
Yeah, you're again in a field of who's who of bowling, you're always going to have those high games.
For sure.
But when you look around and see so many 140s and 150s and 160s, that tells you how tough they are.
Absolutely.
Thirty, 33 and 34. This pair, there's some good players on this pair, and they are really struggling on that pair.
Trey looks like he's in his head. I'm calling Trey out. I know Trey. I know his mom. Trey, it's not you. I mean, it's not your physical game
No,
that you're doing. Like
he's a highly volatile young man, like I was when I was his
Yeah,
age. He
right?
lives in. You can tell exactly how he's bowling by watching him, but talent is incredible.
Like that's
I mean, look
a
at that shot
great
right
shot,
there.
right? For a
Yeah,
double. He's like telling it what to do.
that's the one. Yeah.
He's had a lot of success at a young age. He's LBC youth division champ. He had that regional.
Yep.
He has a lot of youth titles.
Oh yeah, he's won everywhere.
Yeah, his mom and dad really committed to him to make sure that he could go wherever he wanted to go, and it's paid off because now he's headed to Wichita State University.
Yeah, and that's what it takes, you know. And when you have the opportunity, financially, or parents that are supportive and can get time off work and can pay for going to big events like this and Junior Gold, you better be thankful of them, and you better prepare and take advantage of the opportunities, because there are people out there that are good bowlers that, for whatever reason, they don't have the opportunities to bowl all of these events.
Oh yeah, yep,
Bowling is no different than any activity. It costs money to pursue.
yeah. It is, and it's more challenging than ever because there's more events than ever. So,
Oh yeah.
but it's a good commitment. I feel like I was talking with last night. I'm from Columbus, Ohio. Born and raised.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I'm here, I get the opportunity to maybe see people I haven't seen, and I
Yeah.
actually was a couple of my high school best friends were in town last night, and one is not actually. She doesn't live here anymore, and we just happen to be in the same town. And my other friend has 2 children now. One is 6 and one is 2, and we were talking about bowling because it's such a great opportunity to get your kids into, and there's so many great youth leagues in Columbus. And she was talking about how she wanted to get the kids started at youth leagues. So it was a great little chat. We always have to talk about attention spans of that age group, though.
Oh yeah.
There's
Yeah.
there's if you're lucky and have a 6-year-old that can make it through a full
Well,
game
that's
of
why
bowling.
I was going to say that's why most of them younger leagues bowl 2 games.
I know,
instead of
yeah.
3.
Yeah.
That's.
I was getting schooled on Play-Doh last night. I haven't been around Play-Doh in a minute.
Yep, I remember taking Play-Doh and then you press it against the comic strips, which
Oh,
these
yeah.
kids don't know what comic strips
Yeah.
are. They're all on the computer, but
Yeah.
you used to
They make
press
some really
them
cool molds now. We were making little dinos last night.
Oh, see, I'm out of it.
I know,
haven't-
right?
I haven't played with Play-Doh in 2 or 3 years.
I know.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. They say this is something else. They say Play-Doh and other stuff. Like you see these kids in between games, because a block, right? 5 games of bowling is mentally grueling for kids, and you see them playing with Rubik's cubes. I've heard Play-Doh is a very good sensory
I'm
tool
glad you
too.
went in that direction,
Yeah.
because last night
Yeah.
in Game 5, we made a ball change in Game 4 and had a great reaction. And in Game 5, we started out 30 in the third with a couple of what I call, let's just say, we didn't focus.
Yeah.
And what you just said, I paid attention. We started bowling yesterday afternoon. This just for the afternoon squad. We'd already bowled 5 games.
Sure.
Afternoon squad, we got on the lanes at 2:15 and we threw our last shot at 5:40.
Yep.
So you bowled 5 games over 3 hours and 25 minutes. But on this in this competition, on these patterns, it seems like you bowled 10 games. So yeah, you're right. Focus
Yeah.
is a huge part of bowling at a high level.
And they're finding different ways. I see some kids doing Sudoku.
Yep.
I see kids writing in journals, writing different
Yeah.
stuff. Like it depends on what you.
Everybody has their own tricks, to
Yeah.
try to alleviate the pressure or to try to stay focused, take your mind off it. And I always had a horse racing program that I like to
Oh
read
yeah.
between games and between frames.
Nice.
And some of the kids are, more social butterflies than other. They're talking between frames to
Right.
friends. And everybody is different.
Everyone is different.
Yeah.
Del Ballard says he is impressed by how much ball speed all these kids have,
Mm-hmm.
and how many sweat out rolling the 2-pin. They all think it is in play. It's funny. All right, let's see, Mr. Nick. As you said, ball speed is
It's his
no,
forte.
yeah,
And he's
no
got
stranger.
another double. Clean game with 2 doubles.
He's really bowling well this weekend.
He is. That's got to hook just a little bit. Oh, and he rolled it. Rolled
Got
the
it.
2-pin.
There you go, Dell.
But
Roll
again,
the 2-pin.
he's in the right spot because if when he doesn't strike, the ball goes a smidge long. He's left a couple of 2-pins and he's rolled that one. So if you're close like that, I ain't changing nothing. I'm staying right there.
Nick Trentler is from the Maryland area, and he travels with that Maryland crew. Mike Sennick's here. He coaches that group. But Nick has matured so much since he started when we first met him. He was one of those kids. He had an older brother, Nate, who's now in college, and Nick was always a little more, his mental game might not have been his strength when he was younger.
But he's learning.
But I'm so impressed this weekend with him.
Yeah, he's bowled well. He's way up there in the overall standings.
Yeah. I love Joseph's jersey. That jersey looks like he's going on vacation when he leaves here.
Who is this, Blair?
Joseph, right?
Oh, yeah. Yep, yeah. It's a tropical theme.
Yeah, I'm digging it.
Yeah, you're right. They kind of got a little off. This pair on the right's been done for a while, and these other pairs here on the left all have 3 frames left.
They were missing a bowler. Yeah, they're missing a bowler on that grouping. We had a couple. It looks like based on the standings, we had a few bowlers withdraw for different reasons. It happens. Injuries, illness.
I never, ever want to comment on somebody that I see zeros because you don't know. You're hoping.
Yeah.
Oh, another great shot. You're hoping that, they didn't get hurt.
Right.
Or they didn't have a family emergency
it happens,
or something.
Man.
It does.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, what happens is too often someone bowls bad and they say, I've had enough.
Yeah.
And to me, that's inexcusable.
Yeah.
You stop learning. You stop learning. At Junior Gold every year, there are 60 or 70 kids that withdraw during the tournament.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Yeah, and there aren't 60 or 70 kids that get injured or ill at Junior Gold. There's kids that bowl and they go home.
Yeah.
And you stop learning when you do that.
Caden here left himself a tricky spare.
Yeah, Carson left that same thing last game.
Yeah.
The 1-4, and he put the second ball in the same place the first ball went, which is easy to do.
Yeah.
And here we go again. Trey just left this.
He has a little bit of wiggle. It's really, I think he thinks it's him. I think he thinks that he's like it's his hand position or something.
When he left this on this same lane in the 5th, he came in behind the 8. Now let's see. That's got to hook
That's a
too.
great shot.
Yeah. And it didn't get there by a lot.
Yeah. There's just a little bit of wiggle that he can't overcome. He needs. I think he needs to ball up.
They have gotten tighter since we started.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whether you're playing right or left.
Yeah.
When you played left earlier, there was a lot of hook off the spot. And it's pushed down a little bit. There we go. Oh, boy.
He got away with it, but he's like, I'll take it.
That ball was in. That's one where the speed was his friend there. And I mean, I don't know if you classify that as a pocket shot. It was borderline pocket, borderline face. I mean.
Well, these boys, ironically, Chris Vi started the day saying he probably would have started with urethane on this block.
Mm-hmm.
However, we were watching the bowlers, and not many chose to throw urethane. Nick Trentler is choosing to throw urethane to the right. These boys need to remember that. They might be the only pair that is really experiencing what that breakdown looks like. Because we're talking about how it might be getting tighter down lane.
Yes.
They've got Nick right there.
Yeah, and that's why I always say on medium patterns, the transition's trickier and the pair-to-pair is trickier because something like a medium pattern, the good thing is it gives you options to play different parts of the lane.
Right.
The bad thing is everybody's playing all over the place, so when you get to a new pair, you got to reinvent the wheel every game.
100%. Yeah.
So yeah, the more urethane that goes down there, the crazier the reaction gets.
Yeah.
But sometimes maybe the more predictable the reaction gets.
Totally. You get a little more hold.
Yeah, right.
Hold in the right place is great.
Yep.
We're gonna have Luke Switolski join us on the pair.
Oh, the next game.
Yeah.
Okay, he's bowling good this week too.
And I think Chris Vi is gonna be coming back to join us in Game 3. He was gonna go out and scout some pairs, see what people were doing.
See what's going on, huh?
Absolutely. Camden Harris, man, he has the coolest outfits in the field every day. He's like best dressed, I swear. He's stepping right up in the gold paint drip.
And here's Luke right now.
Good shot by Luke.
Oh, that was That was a little bit left of what I've seen, but not quite as far left of what I've seen. Like I said earlier, he was trying to middle him there, and boy, that reaction was smooth as silk.
Yeah.
There was no hang on that shot at all. You never turn down a Brooklyn on a hard pattern. Hell, you never turn down a Brooklyn on anything.
Yeah.
I've never given one back in my life. Have you?
Nope. I'll take them all.
We remember too many solid 8s and solid 9s and ringing 10s and.
Yeah. I'm never giving one back.
Nope.
Camden is living drip because his shirt is drippy. Literally, it's dripping.
Mm-hmm.
These kids they're leveling up the outfits. I tell you.
Well, we talked about this a couple years ago when I was in the booth with you guys about how much fun the kids have with their.
Oh yeah, jerseys.
We didn't have this when I bowled. Everybody bowled in a cotton polo shirt. We didn't have this kind of stuff.
With embroidered names on the back.
Oh yeah, yes, they were all embroidered. Yeah. Now everything's sublimated and screen printed and all that.
Yeah.
You can be as subdued as you want or as crazy as you want, based on your personality.
100%. All right, so the bowlers that are joining us on 35 and 36, we've got Luke Switolski, Gavin Hack, Maddox Kurla, Andrew Sass, Camden Harris, Weston Griffin, and those are the bowlers that you are seeing get started here. Of course, we're the pair that is the pair on 35 and 36. That pair, they are missing a bowler. Not the ones currently here. The ones previously.
Yes.
So
yeah.
It looks as though we might have a little staggered live stream throughout the day.
Yeah.
So bear with us.
Yeah, and like you said, you had a couple, withdraw. So when you're on a pair with 5, naturally, theoretically, you're supposed to get done a little quicker.
Oh yeah, and the guys do. They're tracking quick.
Nick Trentler got it up there with a chance to shoot 257, and he just it wasn't that bad a shot. It just, again, it's so easy to go long when you're using your speed, and he did. It went a little long, and now he's got a bucket, and boy, on this pattern,
yeah,
when you got 3 or 4 pins up there, good luck.
Yeah.
Bucket's hard on a house shot, but on this kind of stuff,
absolutely. Sam says that she thinks that Camden's shirt is Honey Pooh Bear themed. I love that. Now I see it. Thanks, Sam.
Yeah, that makes sense. Spare ball hard. That's got a hook.
Come on.
That's got a hook. Yep. Easy to miss.
But
Doesn't matter how you shoot it or what you're throwing.
Nick's mental game shows how much it's improved. Because a few years ago,
he would have been upset with himself.
That would not be the reaction.
And I'm sure he's upset with himself inside.
Of course he is.
When you do that, I always try to emphasize, okay, yeah. So you open the 10th with a chance to shoot 250. Okay, take a step back and realize on a hard pattern you just shot 219.
Absolutely.
I know it's easy for me. I'm not bowling, but yeah, that's what you have to focus on, that to stay positive. You can't focus on the mistake in the 10th. You got to focus. You threw 9 pretty good ones.
Yeah.
And even the one in the 10th wasn't that bad a shot. It just left a really hard spare.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to see Joseph here on 33. Let's see him. A double.
Oh, and Luke, I didn't see the shot. Oh.
Trey does not enjoy the live stream pair. He just told me that the right lane is like 9 different than the left lane.
Oh,
that's what
you can see that. Yeah. Well, that's why, that pair, I mean, there's a couple good games. There's, but a lot of ugly ones.
It's a good shot by Carson.
Yeah, he did what he could to save 155 with a double in the 10th, boy.
Yeah.
Just he struggled that game, did not. When you look up there and you've got 6s, 7s, and 8s up there, couple circles, that can't add up to a good game.
All right, we got Danny here. We are going to take a short break. I know that the bowlers on 35 and 36 have started, but we're going to take a short break and switch out. We're going to let Joseph here finish this spare, and Danny pick up his spare. We're going to do a little switch because you've got to follow Carson, and we've got Chris coming back into the booth.
All right.
Eric, thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Thanks for attending the SY season. Thanks for all that you do for the youth athletes and the athletes who are at St. Ambrose. Why don't you
My
give
pleasure.
a little shout out for anyone that's listening that may want to learn more about the college that you coach at?
Well, St. Ambrose is in Davenport, Iowa. We're a school of about 3,000. Good bowling program, good facilities, and just in general, college bowling in the last 15 years since I've been coaching collegiately, it's unbelievable where it's gone.
Sure.
There are so many good schools. There's quite a few schools here this weekend,
Absolutely.
with the presence. And then at Junior Gold, there's going to be 70 or 80 schools that you get a chance to talk to during the trade show. But yeah, if you're a young bowler and you're looking to step up your game, come to these kind of events, compete, become a competitor, and keep your grades up. My advice to anybody, the better your grades are, the more scholarship money you're probably going to get. But what an opportunity to spend 4 years, doing a sport you love, getting an education and the experiences and the friends you make along the way. Oh my goodness, there's nothing like college bowling. Can be the most frustrating thing in the world, but boy, the rewards far outweigh the downtimes.
I love it. Well, Eric, thanks for joining us, and we're going to take a short break, and we will be
Thanks, Blair.
right back.
All right.
And we are back. Chris, you're back in the booth.
I'm back.
Welcome back. How was walking around? Hey, see anything exciting?
I saw a Greek church made.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, Grant Taylor, right?
Grant
Yeah,
Taylor,
Taylor, right? Yeah, Grant made Greek church. That was pretty cool.
That does not happen every day.
Yeah. He doesn't throw it slow.
Yeah, he's pretty tall, and he is not, like you said, does not throw it slow.
Yeah, yeah. So that was pretty cool to see. But yeah, just walking around. Actually, we talked about I think yesterday the scores at the lower end being not quite as good.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, that kind of uh, 13 to 22 range, there were some decent scores down there.
Yeah.
Some
Well,
decent score. I mean, there's decent bowlers down there as
Sure.
well, but there were some decent scores. So yeah, it's seems like those pairs maybe the players stayed a bit further to the right to start, possibly. Um, yeah, I think I was just briefly talking to Eric, getting in and out of the booth, and he was talking about how the transitions kind of changed, and it's very dependent on what pair you hit, and
yeah,
could be real good, could be real bad. So
33 and 34 when you left. So you know how far left everyone was playing?
yeah,
The next group, they were not playing as far left.
yeah, okay,
And so either the play is left on this pair, which I think is what we talked about, right?
Yeah.
Like you think that's really the play. But they struggled. So and
the second group struggled.
on 33 and 34, yeah, it got really tight. It's really tight, especially on 34 down lane.
Yeah, I mean they had no help from that first game. 15 minutes of practice plus a whole game, and really no one played to the right. There was one urethane ball on the right.
Yeah.
So that probably is making them tight down lane, and then there's no help in the front part of the lane. So
Right, and Nick Trentler is he was throwing the urethane the second block. He was the only one that really had a solid game, but then he left
Yeah.
a bucket in the 10th. But yeah, I don't know. I still think left is the way to go, especially for the boys. Unless you can throw it hard like Nick was doing. Like he was to the right, really high speed, really high rev rate.
yeah,
Otherwise, you kind of have to get around it. Around the shape, that is.
Yeah.
Not
yeah,
the ball.
absolutely. How we looking here on 35 and 36? We got a couple of front fours.
Yeah.
Couple of front fours. You got a double spare up there as well.
Mr. Luke Switalski was one of the bowlers that shot 300, stepping up at 35. Great player from Illinois. He's part of that Brandolino, Jordan crew. They all hang out together, play
Nice.
bowl together. So
Getting set up, he just looks like Landon already.
yeah,
So I can see where he gets it from.
he's a stud. He really is.
It's a good looking jersey.
It is a good-looking jersey.
Almost the roll too.
All these kids, like we were talking about it earlier, like the jerseys and all their looks, like they've got game.
Yeah, I mean that's the cool part. With all these different bowling clothing companies and all that good stuff, like they really let you kind of express who you are, and like you can kind of portray your personality by what you wear, and yeah, it's really cool. I mean, a lot of creativity out there. We were talking about people dressing like pros and stuff like that, and I actually did see a couple of my jerseys.
Yeah.
A couple of my jerseys down there, a couple of Darren's. Actually, I see Darren's the most because and it's ironic that he doesn't design any of his own jerseys. He just lets Randy do all of it. And
people pick the
and people pick his the most. So it's funny. It's funny.
Well, Randy has good eye for design.
Yeah. Well, I would hope so.
Yeah,
He does.
really.
He does own the company, so I would hope that
Part of it.
that he's pretty good at that.
I love it. All right, let's. I introed the first players. Of course, so here's what's happening.
Mhm.
Some pairs are missing bowlers today. We had a couple
Yeah.
drop. So some are quicker than others. The pair that came in that we didn't have to begin with is Quinn Dean, who is celebrating a birthday either like this weekend or tomorrow. So happy birthday, Quinn.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
Jonathan Bernotis, Colin Cummings, Carter Colby, Owen Williams, and Bailey Becker. And then, of course, on the pair to the right, we have Luke Switalski, Gavin Hack, Maddox Kurla, Andrew Sass, Camden Harris, and Weston Griffin. Those are the bowlers.
Yeah,
And Dell would like to know who the stud in the booth is.
it's Blair.
No, it is Christopher Vi. Do you know what Dell's obsessed with in Ohio?
In Ohio,
Beyond Chris Vi?
I can't imagine he's obsessed with anything in Ohio.
Skyline Chili.
Oh,
That's what I said.
Dell.
Come on, Dell.
You live in Texas with good barbecue. Just stay down there, eat good barbecue.
Yeah. Don't talk about Skyline.
Remind me the name of the place in Houston that I need to get barbecue from.
Who are you bowling the Lucy with this year?
Brianna Cote. Yeah.
Ah,
So
nice.
this is like I want to say it's our 4th year,
Nice.
4th or 5th year. I don't remember.
A lot of years.
Yeah.
You do that like Trip 4 contest, right? Is that still a thing?
So it's a point contest.
Okay.
So you get a point for a trip 4, you get a point for a messenger. If you like trip the 4-9, it's 2 points. Yeah, so it's I can't remember. Sometimes we do roll 2 as a point, sometimes we don't. I don't know. I don't really know all of the rules. That she does all the rules. She knows
Okay.
all of that. That's like her and Lauren Russo and all of them. They have all the point system figured out. I just bowl and then she yells point if I get points on. I don't really know.
There's you know what the kids do? I found out the last couple of tournaments. I don't know if you, like, I didn't do this when I was a youth bowler. I don't know if you did this when you were a youth bowler, but they've started to make doubles pairings and then challenge each other,
Oh, okay.
which is kind of cool because
Yeah.
they're encouraging others to bowl
Yeah.
higher too because
Mhm.
they're trying as a team to beat the other doubles teams, which is really fun. So if you have a group of youth bowlers, I think that's cool. And they do like bets of like someone has to jump into the pool. Like, I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, cool.
Yeah, no, I never did that. There is some of that on the PBA tour, but
Okay.
there's some different stakes involved
I would imagine.
than what's going on here in the youth world, which
Yeah, not
is,
jumping in the pool.
is a good thing.
Yeah, really.
It's a good thing.
Yeah, we don't need to level up any of that stuff.
No, but yeah, it does. It makes it fun.
It does. Yeah.
It's pretty cool because I mean, it almost I don't want to say takes your mind off of it, but you almost get more so. You think a little bit of the smaller picture. You're like, I just want to beat my buddy. Or,
Yeah.
I just want to beat whoever. I want to make him jump in the pool. So it's like you're not necessarily trying to live and die by, hey, I need to bowl well in this tournament. I want to get scholarship money. Or I
Right.
need to impress college coaches or whatever it is. You're going up there and you're just like trying to have a good time, trying
Right.
to beat
Like
your buddies
I
and
need 50
yeah.
pins this game.
yeah,
to, like,
and make
yeah.
and do whatever. So yeah, I think it helps.
All right, so we have a few strikes, handful of strikes. Let's see what else we got. I forget the young man's name. B bowler. This is Gavin up on the lane here. Must go to Lawrence Tech. That's my guess.
Yes, his name is not Lawrence Tech. It could be.
It could be, but it's not. There's
No.
a good. That's a good program too. It's been a good program for a while.
Yeah, they were actually really good when I was in college. I don't know. I don't pay attention to college
I said
bowling
that
much
yesterday.
anymore. It's just
Ah.
I feel like it's like I know a bunch of these kids just from working these SYCs, and I remember the names and
Yeah.
obviously just following Storm and seeing the post of how well these kids are doing. And then it's like they go to college, and then I like forget they exist,
And then they show back up on
and then
tour.
they show up on tour. I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't know you still bowled.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I just won 3 national championships. Oh, okay,
Sorry. Just kidding.
yeah,
Well, my thing is because I do like following where they go to school, but it is slightly difficult during the season to follow all of the different colleges these days.
well, yeah,
And the divisions.
yeah, and
Because
that's
now there's like NCAA, NAIA, or just USBC, right? Like there's 3, right? Is that
I think it's just 2.
2?
Yeah, well, NAI isn't really a thing until the year-end tournament,
Okay.
unless it's changed. But it used to literally be just either your USBCs or you were NCAA, and then at the end of the year, the non-NCAA schools, or if you were NAIA, you would have an NAIA tournament.
Yeah.
But now, like, I mean, even that, there's so many schools that are changing, what division they're in and what, if they're NAIA or they go NCAA.
I can't even tell you how. I mean, there used to be like 140 or something like that colleges. There's got to be so many more. Like I can't
I
imagine.
feel like there's 140 in Ohio that have college bowling now. It's just crazy.
Like Muskingum has a team now. Like Youngstown is NCAA.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just amazing.
A kid that works for us who went to Rio Grande.
Oh yeah, that's
there's
another
like
one.
4 in Columbus. You got Ohio State, you got Capital, you got Ohio Northern's further north.
Right.
Yeah, it's just it is nuts how many schools there are. I mean, Toledo.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy how many schools there are, but it's not a bad thing.
No, and Chris, Jeremy is pointing out how aged out we are because LTU runner up. Yeah.
I mean, they were really good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Stellar.
So I like I said, I don't really pay attention to much of the college, but that's basically when our tour season's going on, is when kind of the back half,
right,
the big, more important college tournaments start to go on, and national championships and all that. So yeah, I don't really get the chance to pay much attention to it.
I do enjoy watching the NCAA, like the finals of that.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah, they were actually going on while we were bowling at the World Series this year. So
at Thunderbolt.
Yeah, it was kind of cool that they were in the arena bay while we were bowling some of our qualifying. So
all right,
it's
folks,
weird.
We are not having an earthquake. I need to go ask the gentleman down there to shift a little forward.
Oh.
He's
Bumping
hitting
the
our camera. So hold on, everyone. Chris, carry on.
Yep, I got you. This is not San Francisco. We're all good. We're all good. We're back.
I'm back. No earthquakes in
Ohio.
Ohio.
So you stopped one. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah. Can't have that. It was happening a little bit in game 1 because I don't know if there's a chair over there or something, but I thought this table was pretty sturdy. Apparently this counter is.
Yeah, I mean,
don't hit it too hard.
Anytime you get a counter this long, there's gonna be a little wobble in it.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. Bailey Becker here is struggling a little bit. He's in one of those games where you just had a weird start. He had split, foul, strike, split, strike.
Yeah.
Like, not bowling bad, just having a little hard go of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there has been, I know there's a lefty that started here on this pair. I don't know if there was one game 2 or not, but yeah, it's, the lefties, obviously there's way less of them.
Yes.
Transition typically is a little bit less. But yeah, when it comes to moving pairs for the lefties, it's kind of hit and miss. If they're playing them a little straighter and the guy before him was hooking it a bit more, then it can get pretty nasty pretty quick.
100%. Here's Andrew. Andrew Sass has grown up so much.
Yeah, two-hander now.
Yeah, right?
Two-hander with the Pete Weber glove.
I know. He's got a good look.
Yeah.
He's got some cool hair. He doesn't look anything like when he was a little kid.
No, and I was talking to his dad yesterday or 2 days ago, and yeah, I met them. Gosh, it's probably been close to 10 years now.
Yeah.
I met him a long time ago. I bowled a doubles tournament actually with Mary Tang.
Yes.
Mikey's wife.
I still slip up and call her Wells every once in a while.
I still all the time. But yeah, so I bowled a mixed doubles with her out in Maryland, I think. And yeah, so that's a little closer to where they're from. So they came out and watched the tournament and kind of hung out with a few of us. Went out to dinner together. So
that's cool.
yeah, it was a while ago, and yeah, he was there as probably 6, 7 years old, maybe not even that. So, yeah, it's definitely it's just crazy to see. It makes me feel old.
Yes, agreed. Weston just got that one to go. Weston is a stud of a player too. I don't know. I think he's like a junior, might be going into his senior year. One of his buddies just aged out, which is hard. Like when your buddy, like the one you hang out with all the time, is gone off to college. He's going. That was a William Smith. He's off to Trine University, which is another big bowling program.
Yeah. They got the cool gray lanes.
Yeah, they do.
Out there at their training facility.
Apparently, it's a great school for engineering, is what I'm hearing. So some of the kids that are studying engineering are kind of going that direction. But anyway, so it's so tough. Like this time of year, everyone is hitting that, like whether they're going to college, whether this is their last tournament in whatever age division they're in. There's so much pressure. Like if you're in the U15 and you're going up to U18, you're like, I gotta make this one count.
It's like, yeah, we talked to Jack Pearson 2 days ago, and we did a little interview with him, and he was talking about this is his last SYC, so obviously he wants to have a good showing and go out strong.
Yeah. So funny. Our scorekeepers today are wearing.
They're matching.
Yeah, everyone's matching. We have these. We're going to the Coastal Classic at the end of the year, and Mike and Deb Sinek are joining us in Myrtle Beach. So we have these beach-themed jerseys, but it's cracking me up because we're in Ohio and we're wearing like.
I mean, the last week you could have taken them outside, and it would have felt like you were at the beach.
Yeah, we just stayed in an ocean, and we're there.
Well, we got enough rain this morning that there might be some big puddles out there.
Yeah, you came in dripping wet.
Yeah, did the pictures look bad?
I don't think so. Oh, I haven't posted
That's
them yet.
good.
I need to post them. Thanks for the reminder.
Yeah, I came in about 10 minutes before those pictures were taken, and no umbrella.
No,
my
you look great.
I'll say like my pants probably still had rain spots on them.
I don't think so.
Oh, all right.
You look great.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Yeah.
Forget what I just said. None of that happened.
Dell says that you're his second favorite male pro, but he does have a big man crush on you.
But which of the Texas guys is his favorite?
It's got to be DJ, right?
You would think Mr. Danny James.
It's got to be.
Wes has got to be up there.
Wes, totally.
Simo's
so are you
up
above
there.
Wes?
Hey, if
Man,
I'm above Wes,
that would be
whoa,
big time.
Hold up.
Oh, Annette's listening. Thank you, Annette. He's only a sophomore. Thank goodness. Oh my goodness.
What would we do without the comments?
I know.
They correct us.
I appreciate
These
it.
kids don't fill out their bios, so we don't know anything.
I've stopped even checking because I'm like, yeah, okay. I get 1 out of how many? 12?
The comment section's our bio.
It is. Yeah. If you're listening and watching a bowler, give us some facts. You can embarrass them too. We appreciate those.
Yes, we enjoy that.
Yeah. Oh, Jeremy wants to know, does Texas still get to claim Wes? He's a Fort Wayne guy. Oh, now we're going into controversy.
Yeah, well, hey, he's a Texas boy at heart.
True dat. You can't really get out of Texas, I don't think.
Yeah, like if I moved to Idaho, like
You're not
be
from Idaho.
From Idaho.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm still gonna be an Ohio boy.
Yeah, exactly. I moved to Utah. Still, when I come back here,
Yeah, you're an Ohio girl.
Yeah, exactly. I go to all my favorite food places, which is Roosters, 3 times a week.
Gotta try the new place, Blair.
I know. I
don't even remember what it's called.
Shakers.
Shakers, that's right.
Yeah. I asked Paul Brown about it too. He said it's legit. You're not wrong.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, and he's a Roosters guy. So if he says it's legit, I trust that.
Shakers, sponsor me.
There you go. Work on that.
I'm sure they're listening.
Are they a chain or a local?
No, I think that is the only one.
Oh, wow. All right.
I
Okay,
think
I feel
so.
better about this now.
Yeah, I think so. We've got a couple of kids that I coach in the vicinity here.
Oh, yeah?
So it's kind of cool to see. Hopefully they're bowling well.
How is coaching going? Do you like it?
I do. It's fun. it's tough when with my schedule and how
Sure.
much I'm gone and kind of figure out timing and everything. But um, yeah, it's fun. It's enjoyable. It's nice to be able to pass along some of the information that I've been fortunate to learn from some really smart people in the game, and just kind of over the course of time is another nice 2-4-10 conversion there on lane 33.
Nice.
But yeah, it's been really cool to see just some growth in some of the kids that I've been able to help, and I've been very fortunate with people that have come to me that have just been very nice families, and it makes it way easier because you don't necessarily feel like a coach,
Yeah.
and to watch them kind of grow up and get a little bit better and a little smarter, and maybe I don't have to say certain things anymore to them because they start to figure it out on their own. Yeah, it's nice.
It's the way to go. Okay, Dell says DJ and Wes are brothers, different category,
Oh, okay.
but Anthony Simonson is this
Okay.
guy,
Okay. It's the loophole.
I guess.
That's the loophole.
Whatever. Now we have brothers versus favorites. But I think you're still his man crush. I don't think Anthony is his man crush. So
It's fair.
now you have man crush, but your second favorite bowler.
Hey, if I'm number 2 behind Simo, that's not a bad place to be.
Yeah, and if you beat Simo, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, I think the only time I bowled against him on TV, he doubled in the 10th to beat me. I 7-10 in the middle of that game.
Oh.
He doubled in the 10th to beat me. It's like I think I doubled to make him double.
Yeah,
Which
that's good.
I'm like, hey, that's all I can do.
Right?
But sitting down, I'm like, there's just no way he doesn't.
Yeah.
There's just no way he doesn't double here. And of course, it was pretty much no doubters that he's like, yeah. It's like, you had a good tournament, Chris, but you can go ahead and go on home now.
Good try.
Yeah.
Good try. All right, Mr. Camden. I love Camden's. I called this his drip outfit.
Okay.
Literally, drip.
Yeah.
See
Yeah,
what I
well-
did there?
Now, is it supposed to be honey?
Yeah, that's what Sam said. She thinks it's like honey and poo related because apparently there's like a poo bear on it maybe at the bottom.
Yeah. Maybe
There's
it
like a
can-
bear or something.
yeah, it's like where he tucks in the jersey. It makes it a little harder to see.
Yeah, exactly. Can't really. Oh yeah, the honey pot is
Oh, yeah, I see it like
it's
upside down.
empty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, anyway, I'm calling it the drip.
Interesting.
Camden,
The
if you
hun-
listen,
The honey's on top of the jersey, but the
pot is dumping on
pod
the
is
bottom.
dumping.
Yeah, I
Maybe
know.
that's his pants.
Oh,
It's-
so we continue the drip
Yeah,
down.
yeah, it's
Huh.
okay.
You gotta
I
talk
like
to
that.
Randy about that one. That
I like
design is a little. You gotta abstractly think of that.
Hey, that's what we're here for.
It's
We're here
true.
to break down outfits.
Yeah, and lanes. I mean, we had instead of a ball change, a jersey change. So
We did.
we got to call it out. Jeffrey says you must become the ball, Luke. Yeah, Luke did have a little struggle on this pair. Not his normal game per se, but he tried to make as many spares as he left. So that's all you can do.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we got some good games here. We got 253,
Yeah.
244,
Yeah.
212
Let's
up
see what we
there.
got. So let's pull this handy dandy lane sheet again. Okay, so Luke, as we said, a little struggle. Gavin was the 253. 212 was Andrew. Yep.
Yeah, and then Camden with the 244.
Mr. Drip. And then Weston had a little rough go of it too. And we're waiting on Mr. Maddox, who also. It's really hit or miss right now, right? Like the guys. This is what I said
Mhm.
about yesterday too. I was talking to one of the parents this morning. It is, and this sounds really cliche when I'm about to say this, right? But the bowlers who figure it out and either follow the transition or in the right part of the lane, they make it look really easy. The bowlers who are not on this medium pattern, it looks like the U.S. Open.
Yeah, I mean, right, like the pattern's easy. I wouldn't say it's easy, but it's easy enough to where if you're in the right part of the lane, it becomes very playable, very scoreable. You can get the 250, you can get the 240. But again, if you're not in the right place, I mean, that goes for most sport patterns.
Right.
If you're not in the right place, you're going to have a hard time bowling well.
Absolutely.
It's always the saying that you can't out bowl bad ball reaction. And if you keep putting yourself in the wrong part of the lane with the wrong bowling ball, it's going to be very, very hard for you to score. But at the same time, you get into the right part of the lane with the right bowling ball, you don't even necessarily have to throw it that well to bowl well. So that's kind of what the game has turned into today, is being in the right part of the lane, figuring out ball motion a little bit more rather than just throwing it as good as you possibly can, because you can do that.
Yeah.
But if you don't know where you got to throw it, then it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, and that's what I think. Like, we were talking about Trey Hendricksmeyer on here last
Mhm.
game. He bowled on 33 and 34. He was, I believe, either he needed to ball up or use a little more surface, but he was making the lanes really hard for himself.
Yeah, we're watching him just off to the side here, and he just three-pinned and
Yeah.
seemed a bit confused. And, to me, he's just not in the right part of the lane at all.
Yeah.
I mean, feet-wise, he might be pretty close, but angle-wise, he's keeping it way too close to headpin. Now, I don't know if that was a good shot for him, and that was just not what he expected it to do, or if that was, a miss left and just, he was frustrated that he didn't throw a good shot. But yeah, if that's where he's trying to play, that's gonna keep happening.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what. Anyway, it's Trey. You never know with Trey.
Yeah, he'll figure it out.
He will. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, our sea bowler. Who's our sea bowler's name? He's wearing a cool shirt that he might have picked up this weekend because.
I think so. No name on it.
Which this is Colin. Colin Cummings. I like that jersey.
Yeah.
It's a cool one.
Unfortunately, the 3-4 combination. Don't see that one too often.
No, you don't. You can pick it up though. Why not? Let's run on it, or take a run. Give it a run. Give it a run. That's the word.
You'll figure it out. Oh,
Take.
that was pretty close.
Ooh, you know who's coming? Anthony Hornick. That was his shot right there. Dang.
2-4-10.
How smooth is he though?
He throws it great.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's a Wichita kid. He's going, or will be a Wichita kid. Heading to Wichita.
I will give absolutely zero credit to Tommy Jones. No, I'm just kidding.
Tommy is here coaching.
Yeah,
Anthony.
Tommy.
That's why Chris says that.
Yeah,
so.
Tommy's been around for a while with Anthony, coaching him, kind of giving him some advice and lane play and all that good stuff. So, obviously, if you're gonna have Tommy in your corner, that's pretty nice. I think they're from similar areas ish. Not necessarily super close, but close enough that obviously they're able to make it work. And if you have kind of one of the best bowlers in the world and one of the best bowlers of all time in your corner, that is never a bad thing.
Yeah, and Anthony is one of those soft-spoken, really professional guys.
No, he doesn't speak. I mean,
yeah.
I bowled with him at team trials one of the days, and I met him plenty of times, talked to him a couple of times, and still it's like talking to Bam Bam. It's like they just don't want to speak.
Yeah,
hey, that's fine.
Yeah.
They just keep to themselves. They do their thing.
Smarter than us, Chris. I think.
Probably, yeah. Their brain's just processing the entire time,
Yeah,
and it's like, why is this person talking to me?
Exactly, right? Like,
I have more important things to do. Let me go.
Yeah. All right, here's Connor. Let me introduce this pair. I introduced Anthony, but let's do the full introduction. Try to get to the right part. Okay, so this is we've got Dawson Peterson, Silas Moats, Keaton Berry, Anthony Hornick, Connor Lunning, and Grant Taylor. Ooh, you said Greek Church pickup, Grant Taylor, right?
Yeah, Grant made the nice Greek Church conversion, and actually just saw Connor last week. He was at the Mount Mercy Clinic out there in Iowa. I think he was also taking a visit out there when he was out there. So pretty cool to see. I think he'll be going into his senior year, I think.
Nice.
Yeah, so I don't think he is graduated yet. I think he'll be going into his senior year, so.
I love that the colleges do camps too. I mean, for years it was only Wichita that really did that soccer camp, but now it's more than that. Like,
yeah, a lot of places are doing it. I mean, even right in Iowa,
yeah,
not necessarily the most populous place in the world and not the most heavily dense bowling area in the world, but there's still a decent turnout for it, and kids are able to get some really good information, and also able to get brand new storm bowling ball of choice.
pretty nice.
So yeah,
Doesn't suck.
nothing wrong with that. You can learn a little bit. You can figure out what bowling ball is best for your game and learn how to use it. Never a bad thing.
Anthony's release is just so clean.
Yeah,
I don't think he even understands how good he is yet.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
think
which
he
is
just-
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he just kind of goes and bowls and walks back and kind of about it. So
Yeah.
I think Tommy was saying he was struggling to touch on the second attempt. Struggling to touch on the second attempt. So hopefully we can clean that one up a little bit. Sometimes you get so lost in the first ball where you're trying to figure out the lanes, you're trying to figure out what to do. If you need to make a move, you need to do this, and you do that. And then while you're thinking about that, you're shooting your spare and you miss it, and you're like, oh, yeah, I forgot I had to shoot that. So yeah.
Well,
then
and I don't
you
think
walk
people
back.
realize how quick everything goes. Like,
Especially with the kids.
yeah.
Kids just bowl so fast.
Right, and you're like walking a line on a spare shot, and you're like, did I line up in the right place?
Yeah.
Like, did I do that right?
I'm not ready, but I have no choice.
Yeah. Connor's got some other awesome swag, or swag is uncool as we discussed. Drip, that's what they call it.
Yeah.
Drip.
Got a lot of bright pants today.
Super bright.
A lot of bright pants today. But everyone brought out the goods for Sunday.
Yeah.
Got some orange pants out there. Got some pink pants. Had the yellow pants last pair. Got some white pants.
They are not afraid to stand out.
No.
That is the one thing that is clear here.
Yeah, and I will say I was that way as well as a
Oh,
kid.
yeah?
I was that way as well as a kid, and that quickly changed. So
Yeah, now you're very subtle.
yeah, try to keep it low key. I look back at those old pictures and I'm like, ugh. What was I thinking?
Well, white pants were a thing
They
back
were.
in the day. I don't see as many white pants.
No, I think bowling kind of follows golf,
Okay.
like just with fashion and kind of style. And white pants were very big on the golf course there for a few years, and now you don't see them very often anymore. And it's kind of same
Yeah.
goes with bowling. Don't really see them too much anymore. You see still see a bit of colored pants out there, so you still see some of those out here. But yeah, it's almost kind of like it's gone back to kind of a little more old school, a little more the classic professional type of look.
Yeah.
But then the jerseys are kind of what they can be a little bit more loud with, or a little more out there. Get their personality out there a bit more with the jersey. So.
Got a spammer. I gotta go block him.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Taken care of.
Get out of here.
I don't know where they come from. Just
Big
looking for
bowling
a
fans.
live feed.
Big bowling fans.
We got, yeah. Oh, Dawson, he figures it out. He's like, yes. It's always fun when you go to a new pair and you're like, Mrs. Fair, split. You're like, really? Like,
Yeah. Like, what is going on
that's
here?
how I wanted to start this game.
I mean, you saw Anthony 2-4-10 there on that first shot, and now he two-pinned again on that left lane. And I think he came up pretty light and rolled the 2-4 out of the bucket on the right lane. So this pair could be substantially tighter down lane than the pair they just came off of, because it looks
Yeah.
like everyone's kind of doing the same thing. Ball's just not quite hooking as much. Connor did the same thing, and his second shot was much better. I think he washed out, then made it. Yeah, see right there.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, it's just tighter down lane, and that's why we like to throw straight at our spares because you don't have to worry about the differences in the lanes when you're shooting at a 2-pin.
Absolutely.
If you hit your mark, you make it.
Got some stellar players coming up on 33 and 34.
Yeah, I think we got my boy Brooks.
Your boy Brooks.
Yeah,
Is Brooks your boy?
Well, he's surpassed Keegan
Okay.
in the Chris Vi jersey
Oh,
catalog.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it was Keegan for a while, and Keegan's moved on to bigger and better things, and Brooks has stayed strong in the Chris Vi jersey camp.
I like it.
Yeah.
Here's my favorite Brooks Golden story this week. So we did this hyperbowling challenge on Friday night.
Mhm.
Which, have you done hyperbowling?
I have, yeah, one time. I did a Mavs birthday party.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun, right?
is.
Like, it's
Yeah.
not bowling.
No, not by it's top golf
It
for
is
bowling.
top golf, right?
Yeah.
And so Brooks's mom, Jennifer, is not a bowler. And so there was a group which included actually Malia Miscavige, who's bowling with Brooks, and some other teenagers. And then Jennifer Golden won the hyper bowling challenge out of
Nice.
everybody.
Nice.
And so we did this interview after, like, Jennifer, how do you feel? And she's like, I'm so excited. I love it. I beat my son, who's a big bowler. And then Brooks is like, or we asked, Brooks, how do you feel your mom beat you? Not good. It's like, she
Not
should not have won.
Not carrying a lot of confidence into the weekend.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very far from
Yeah.
actual bowling.
But that was
itself,
the
but
whole intent of the
of course,
party,
yeah,
right?
you gotta
Like,
have fun.
yeah, I actually, like, when Julie and I were talking about it, we're like, how cool would it be if a mom or a sibling beat these
Yeah.
bowlers that are, like, stellar players and don't lose?
Oh my goodness!
What?
The
like-
eight pin just kind of shoved back there.
Yeah.
It's a nice welcome to the pair.
That is Kaylin Campbell, everyone. She's a stellar player. I'm pretty sure, if I remember right, she's another one heading to SCAD
Okay.
soon. So we got Kaylin Campbell on this pair, Caitlin Still, Malia Miscavige, Landon Jordan, Nick Green, and Brooks Golden. Yeah, shake that pair off.
Yeah. It's an all right pair.
Yeah. Danielle Henderson, Jack State is a big Chris Vi jersey person.
Oh yeah, she is.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's funny. Deep would always send me messages. No, I'm sorry, Brian O'Keefe.
Okay.
To people that actually know Brian. Yeah, he would always send me pictures, and Shannon sent me a couple of pictures when she's worn my jersey. And
Yeah.
It's got our Pro Shop logo on it and everything. So yeah, she's had some quite a few in the past as well.
Stephanie says she thinks that she has them all. So you better design some more
Wow.
because she needs some more Chris
Okay.
Vi jerseys.
Well, I got some more. I actually I've already worked on a few for next year. So I think I got 2 or 3 in the bag already for next year.
More catalog coming.
More catalog coming. I actually kind of have one. It wasn't necessarily designed to be a jersey, but I think I'm going to turn it into a jersey.
Oh, cool.
I just made some polos just with, more so to wear to the pro shop, but they got, all the appropriate logos that I need to have on. And I basically designed a new polo because
wow.
there's only so many polo choices on the EFX website. And I was like, I just want to change it up. I just want something a little different, a little unique. And I made my own. And I've already had like 4 people be like, oh, did you make that? Is that new? And I'm like, all right, that sounds like it's gonna be a jersey. But you can actually buy the polo
Neat.
online as well. So
That's cool. That was Caitlin Stoll, folks. She's won a lot of everything.
yeah, I gave her a wager this morning. She said
nice.
she blamed me for not bowling well the first couple of days because
Wow.
she didn't have a score to shoot for.
Okay.
Usually give her a goal to try to shoot for, and so apparently it's my fault that she hasn't bowled
It has
well.
to be someone's. At least
And-
it's not her mom.
And
Her
I
mom's
think
so
she,
sweet.
I think she's in like 3rd
Yeah,
overall. So
She's bowling really good.
yeah, I don't know what she's complaining about. But,
Yeah.
I told her 100 over today
Okay.
for this block.
I think Leanne said the same thing. I heard her. She
Yep.
was up at the desk before you got here. 100 over. That was,
She said the same thing.
Yeah.
100 over. So I got out of the booth the first game.
Checked on it.
I was walking down, walked by their pair, and I saw her. She had like strike, spare, strike, something like that. Decent start to the second game. I was like, oh, all right, looks pretty solid.
Yeah.
She came walking back, and she was talking to the Jordan conglomerate. And
Nice.
looked up, and I was like, how'd we do? And she's like, not good. I was like, okay. All right, fair enough. So I don't know if the 100 mark's going to be hit.
All
But
right.
hey, you never know.
Yeah, you never know.
You still got a couple more games. 2 more games.
Yeah, that was Malia Miscavige, folks, too. She's heading to Jack State. That Jack State team is stacked.
Silly.
It is stacked.
I don't blame them though.
Yeah, but you got to.
I mean, you got 2 of the best coaches in the world in the same place, making you a better bowler, and then you got a pretty solid chance at winning a national championship with that amount of talent as well. So
Yeah.
you know, Danielle Henderson had the big run there at the U22 Queens, which I think she ended up winning. I can't remember. I didn't really watch the final. I watched up to it. We actually had a girl.
She did win.
Did she win? I think she won. I'm pretty sure she won, but
Someone in the chat will know.
yeah.
Yeah, Stephanie Alexander, you know, let us know.
And but yeah, she pretty much dominated the qualifying and a lot of the matches. She bowled really well. But yeah,
Pretty sure she won.
we had a young girl that helps us out in the pro shop a little bit, and she was bowling really well, and I think she ended up bowling Danielle at some point in time.
Okay, Caitlin. Okay.
Yeah, a little backdoor the 1-2-4. Got to remind her that one's on live stream.
The glasses came off.
Yeah.
This is serious business.
We'll clip that one and send it to her.
Absolutely. That's funny. Nick Green. I'm pretty sure it's Nick. Nick's from here? He's from here, right? Around here?
I believe so.
I'm pretty sure he's going to Ohio State.
Yeah, because
I think.
I'm 99.9% sure he has come to our pro shop.
Okay, because at the last tournament, I was talking to his dad, and we were chatting, and I'm like, they're from Ohio, they're from Central Ohio, and then they said, oh yeah, Nick's going to Ohio State, and I'm like, how do I not know any of this? like what is going on? Because he throws it great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, I'm pretty positive. It's always weird. It's like you see somebody that you're used to seeing in a different location.
Yeah.
And like different clothing and all that stuff. You're like, pretty sure that's them.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's them.
Yeah. All right, here is Landon Jordan on 33, and that's a messenger. Do you throw messengers like that?
No. I used to. Back in my day.
Back in my day.
Back in
it's
my
not your day anymore.
No.
It's Landon's day now.
Yeah, yeah. Hasn't been my day for a while.
Oh, I think there's still some Chris Vide days in the future.
There is one every year, actually.
Yeah, one.
In Springfield, Ohio.
Oh, like the legit day.
Like legit. There was a Chris Vide day, yeah.
That's still a thing?
So no matter, yeah.
Like
forever? Forever and ever.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. What do you do on Chris Vide Day?
Absolutely nothing. I usually forget it happens, and my mom texts me,
Happy
Chris Vide Day. I'm like, oh yeah, it is today.
That's funny.
Yeah, I don't even remember what date it is. I know it's towards the end of May. It just happened.
That's really cool that Springfield did that, though. Not every city does something like that for bowling, so
yeah,
shout out to Springfield.
Yeah,
Ohio.
it's one of those. It's a smaller town that there's a lot of bowlers in the small town, so the chances of somebody being affiliated with politics or part of the city or whatever that's a bowler.
Yeah.
Obviously, the chance goes way up, and that's kind of what happened. So.
All right, here is Anthony Hornick. Anthony is struggling, but the last ball, it looked like he's still got it way to the right, and it made it back. What do we got going on there?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm thinking he needs to make a ball change.
Yeah.
Because I think that's still the same ball that he started with. I could be wrong. Could be a different one. But I think it's the same one he started with. And the last one looked all right. But that one, Brooklyn. So.
Yeah, 35 and 36 does not look like a fun pair anymore.
No, well, I mean, we just saw 250 and 240 on it.
Yeah.
So we know something's out there. But this group coming in, like I said, it all depends on the pair that you came from as well. To where, if the pair you came from was a very different, where you had to play the lanes, what type of ball you had to use, and then you come to this pair, it could take you a little while to figure it out, and sometimes maybe you don't even figure it out at all.
Yeah.
And but then somebody who came from a pair that is doing a very similar thing can walk right in and be very comfortable and just bowl well. So
It's really fun when that happens.
yeah, that's nice. It's like, oh, I can stand in the same spot and do the same thing. This is pretty cool.
Yeah. Doesn't always happen though, like you said. Got another spammer. Go away.
Goodness.
It's Sunday morning. Go back to bed.
Yeah.
Chris, here's another. You're a second favorite athlete of Jeremy Combs.
I'm really good at seconds. Really good at
Apparently.
seconds.
Braxton Miller beats you.
Yeah, I played baseball with Braxton.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And then he said he was too good for us and left.
It happens.
Yeah. That's all right.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool to watch him at Ohio State. I went to a couple of games when he was, or actually I just went to one game when he was quarterback, and yeah, it's like, yeah, played baseball with that dude. Definitely doesn't know who I am anymore, but
He was a
pretty cool.
stud
Yeah.
athlete.
Yeah, he was really good. I mean,
Yeah.
going to the NFL and playing
Yeah.
wide receiver for a little bit there.
Yep, he did.
Can you imagine if he was still at the Texans?
Oh my gosh.
CJ Stroud
Oh
would be
my
throwing to
gosh.
Braxton Miller. That'd be kind of cool.
The Texans came out of nowhere, but we knew.
CJ Stroud, baby.
We knew. We were
CJ
like,
Stroud,
yeah, he's the real
OH.
deal. IO.
There
Yeah, we
go.
tried that this morning. That did not
Yeah,
work.
the kids,
We're-
the non-Ohio kids just didn't get it.
Yeah, we're not going to do that again.
Yeah, the non-Ohio kids. It
It
kind of
was
hurt. It kind of hurt my
not
heart.
my idea, for the record. Alyssa Bechtel and Ron Hatfield wanted to do a big OHIO,
I mean,
and neither were part of this morning.
yeah.
Like,
well,
if you're gonna come up with this idea, you better be
Yeah.
part of it.
I mean, Ron, obviously, he's taken off to bowl nationals this morning.
Priorities.
I know. The OHIO chant is way more important. But
He's been practicing for weeks, but
Yeah.
skip your flight.
Yeah, it's it would have been really cool if all the kids actually bought into it, but it was also 8 a.m.
I know
and
it is
Kids were not feeling it. We weren't wanting to bring the energy yet.
not yet. Hey, I got a text. May 25th is your day.
May 25th.
Yes,
All right.
and it's a day before Kenzie's birthday, so you should remember.
I remember her birthday. I don't remember my day. It's Now, if I got stuff for free on my birthday, then you better believe I'd remember what day it is.
Amen. That's true. Maybe we should do something for Chris Day. Everyone. We'll think about it.
Yeah.
Although so far you're the second favorite of everyone, so you really need to work on this.
I know. Apparently I'm just not good enough.
Keep working.
Yeah. We'll get there one day.
We keep you humble.
Yeah. I mean, Braxton doesn't even play anymore.
Nope. Still second favorite.
So maybe I'm
Oh, yeah,
maybe I'm
yeah.
closing the gap.
Well, so I've always joked with Jillian Martin for years and years that she's my second favorite Martin because Dan Martin, for anyone that lived in Ohio, like, you respected Dan.
Yeah.
He ran everything. He was like the guy. So even when she won the Queens this year, my text to her was, good job, second favorite. And she's like, I won the Queens and I'm still not your favorite. I'm like, gotta do better.
Yeah.
Keep
Just
striving.
Just keep working on it. Keep working on it. You never know. One day.
Someday. Yeah. So all these seconds.
Yeah.
All right.
Like a little bird dog.
We like that. Oh, and a little point to
A
the
little
left.
shout out.
Ah, good job,
Love
Nick.
that. Kaylin got the front three here and 4-9.
Thank you.
Love that.
She did backdoor the head pin.
She made it. Game 2. I
Josh,
think
you made it 4-9?
the game I saw her. She had like a 3-bagger after that start, and then she 4-9'd and made it. So
Nice.
I don't know if she. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
it's a chance.
This, I don't know what is happening on 35 and 36. Grant is struggling too.
She almost made it again.
So close. Good try, kid.
Yeah, Grant's struggling. His issue was he got the 8 pin out of the Greek church and just left the big 4, so he couldn't make it.
Yeah. True that. That was a tough spare for Silas, and he covered it. Good job.
Mhm.
Is that one of your shirts? That
It
Brooks
is.
wearing?
Yeah.
Nice. That's cool.
I'm telling you, Brooks holds down the fort,
Absolutely.
and MJ's got one on too. Mel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's right over there on lane 30. We actually might get him next game, possibly.
Oh, Malia throws it so good.
Did she win was she the gold medal I know I handed her a medal. I don't remember which one.
Was
Maybe
the
bronze, maybe for yesterday's evening
now
block.
I'm forgetting.
I handed her a medal. I just don't remember which one it was.
Bronze.
Bronze.
She averaged 200.2.
Yeah, solid block there.
Really solid. And she, like we said, she's going to Jack State, but she has already kind of entered some of the PWBA regional events, which I think is a great opportunity for kids, boys and girls, right? The PBA regionals give smart money.
Mhm.
PWBA regional gives smart money.
Yeah.
And you get to get your feet wet and experience what you can't describe of the anxiety of bowling next to one of the players you've watched bowl on TV.
Yeah.
But you get that out of the way.
Yeah, well, I think the women's regionals are a bit different.
Yeah,
because
because
I
they
think
do limit.
like national title members can't bowl them.
True.
I think so.
Yes.
So it's it's a little different on the women's side, but it's still like a lot of the players that bowl on the tour.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much all of the events will still bowl those. So
Yeah.
you're still getting some pretty high caliber talent, and you're getting local bowlers that maybe just don't bowl professionally that are still pretty good coming out for them as well. So
Yeah, but the youth are showing that. By
Oh.
the way, we're good.
Yeah.
we
And
will
we're
beat
com-
all
we're
of you.
coming.
Yeah, really. I mean, I think Annalise O'Brien made like 3 finals. Malia made a final.
yeah, well, I'm pretty sure
Caitlin?
Annalise was just in the match play for the U.S. Open,
She was.
Yeah, so-
Yeah.
bowling great there.
I'm pretty sure Caitlin Stoll made a finals at a regional too.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she
Mhm.
might have won. I think she didn't win a PWBA regional. I mean, anyway, it's hard to keep track of all everything the kids do.
Yeah.
Because they're just exceptional.
And like we were talking about yesterday, there's just so many events now
Yeah.
that it's like literally impossible to keep up with everything.
Yeah.
Because all of these kids obviously they're here, but next weekend there could be 10 different tournaments that these kids are bowling wherever they happen to live or wherever it may be, and it's just wild how much they have access to and how much they have access to bowl. So it's it's great for them.
Yeah.
It's fantastic for them. They're basically almost full-time bowlers.
They
I
are.
mean,
Yeah.
at anywhere from I would say 14. Really, the 12-year-olds probably don't travel a whole bunch.
Right.
But probably that that 14, 15 range to all the way up to the 18-year-olds. I mean, they're bowling so much, and
Yeah.
it's one of those things where I pretty much bowled in the summertime. That was like I bowled league.
Yeah.
I bowled high school, which was mostly on house shot, and then I bowled 8 to 10 JTBAs in the summertime on sport conditions, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
I bowled junior gold, obviously, a couple times.
But it wasn't anything like it is now.
No,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's just not.
these kids are literally having something to bowl year-round, all the time, on challenging conditions against good competition.
Which is how they get so good so fast.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll see someone, right? Like, even take Columbus, for example, right? We haven't been back in 2 years. So some of these kids maybe have bowled, like they came to Indy last summer for the Super Slam, but we don't see them very often. And in
Oh, a nice little
wow.
410 conversion there from Keaton.
Oh, and we got
After-
a woo.
Yeah, after missing the 10 pin.
Yeah.
That's how you make it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Miss a single pin, you make a split.
Anyway, we don't see them very often, and then you see them and you're like, wow, they have gotten so good.
Yeah.
But they just have so many local tournaments, and Leanne runs the SYC, but she also is in charge of our tournaments and events department, and she sponsors as many youth tours as we can throughout the country, like kind of looking at each region and making sure that Storm sponsors one in each region. And it's incredible the amount of youth tours that they have now.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
not really a region that doesn't have a youth tour going on.
Yeah, I mean, you got Deandra with the EYTs
Yeah.
up in like the Chicagoland area, which, I mean, look at how many Chicagoland area bowlers, I mean,
Yeah.
that are just incredible now. I mean, you got the Jordans, you got the Brandolinos.
Abby Starkey's not here this weekend,
yeah,
but
Abby Starkey's
she
not
falls
here.
in that. Yep.
We just had Lucas from there in the last pair. I mean, it's just crazy how many kids are from that area that, the kind of southern Wisconsin, You have Rory Clark, who's
Oh, yeah.
now aged out, but he's from that area. Trey Hendrickmeyer is from that area as well. Where it's like, those EYTs, it's crazy how many bowlers are coming from that area and bowling really, really well. So
For sure.
shout out to Deandra.
Yeah, she's amazing.
She's done fantastic with those, and
She works really hard.
she does a fantastic job. I pretty much I bring her a jersey every year at the Lucy
Nice.
to raffle off at one of their events, and she always has, 15 to 20 autographed jerseys, either from bowlers or other sporting events or whatever it is, and just things to raffle off to help raise even more money for the kids. And
Absolutely.
yeah, it's just really cool to see the spot that youth bowling's in right now.
For sure. All right, here is Connor.
He's got a pretty good game going.
He does.
Rough first frame, but bounced back with 3-bagger, spare double, and got 9. So nothing wrong with that.
Nope. Take it. All right, let's see if we have some scores. I always try to wait until most of them have been put in, and they are. So Emma Yoder's leading the medium 2, day 2. She is plus 56. Look at Olivia Lizzie.
Yeah.
Plus 27. Caitlin Johnson. Oh, wait. Now this is U18. Caitlin Johnson, 204. And Malia here, she's sitting at 4th.
Yeah.
On the day, that is.
Yeah, 220-2-0 the last 2 games. And she's clean through 5 here, so starting to figure it out a little bit.
For sure. Overall, let's just take a little peek. It's still early, folks. Caitlin Peck is holding her lead. Amanda Lang is catching up, though. Ooh. And Malia is chasing.
Yeah. Malia 3rd, Gianna 4th, and Caitlin, who also is on the pair, is in 5th.
So Gianna had a struggle in the afternoon. She had 255 game 2 afternoon yesterday. She had 255 game 2 today. I'm not sure. She's got to be close to live stream.
Yeah, I think she's a little left. I think she actually might be on 31 and 2.
Okay.
Because I think when I went down and was walking around, I thought she was beside Landon, because I think she's with Griffin.
Okay.
Maybe
okay.
right beside.
Yep.
One of those 2 pairs over there.
Anyway, she's still in the hunt, folks, for anyone that's following the Gianna. U18 boys, let's take a look. Keegan Alexander. Ooh, he's on a tear. Plus 100. Hey, he won your bet. If you bet him.
I did not. I did not.
Bobby Brennan. I believe this is the Bobby Brennan that is bowling his first and last SYC this weekend.
Yeah, he's here on the pair.
Oh, wait, maybe not then.
Or he was. At least he was walking around. Maybe he's not bowling on the pair, but he was walking around.
Okay, yeah, he
Or was he just on the pair?
He might have just been on the pair. He might have been on when we were talking earlier. It's okay, Chris. You've been here a minute.
I mean, I know I saw him, and he was walking right around here.
Yeah.
Because he's got a bunch of pink on.
Yes, he does. Anyway, so yeah, he is minus 11 though. Honestly, the U18 boys are struggling a little bit.
Crazy. Yeah, I mean, Keegan's 100 over, and second place is minus 11.
Yeah, that's actually surprising. And that's what Eric said. He thought that they were going to struggle. And they are.
It's a little surprising. I mean, I don't think the pattern's really that difficult. Yeah, Gianna is there on 32. She just picked up a spare.
By the way, the girls, so minus 11 was second in the boys, but the girls.
There's 6 girls that are plus.
Yeah, so just, I don't know what's going on. We'll take a look.
Well, like we talked about, right? This pattern's a little lighter volume, a little, there's almost no reverse oil. So the pattern's going to break down quite a bit quicker. And, rev rate on patterns that break down quite a bit quicker isn't necessarily always the greatest thing. So where now
Which is what we're experiencing right here in front of us.
Bowling balls are hooking a little bit earlier, going a little bit more forward down lane. That brings the the 2-8-10 combos into play. It brings the big fours if it gets offline too early. Yeah, so speed control ends up being super important on these types of patterns, and yeah, it just seems like any of the kids with rev rate, especially the two-handers, having a little bit of an issue just kind of keeping the ball online for long enough.
Oh, Stephanie did say there are still some scores missing in the U18 boys, especially Nick Trendler's group. So
Okay.
there we go. We would have a few more pluses, but not many. I mean, there's only one pair missing. So anyway, Stephanie is attributing it to the jersey change.
I mean, it's got to be. It's got to be. He had 90 in the 6th.
Yeah.
You know, jersey change, bailed out the 190.
And then
now he's
plus,
got
plus 100.
Now he's got 720 the next 3.
So have you done that ever? Have you done a jersey change?
Not mid block. Not mid block. I have done it. You know, like a morning block. Things didn't go well. Jersey change for the afternoon block or the night block. I've never done it mid block.
Like in game
especially
1, mid-game?
Third frame, first game.
Yeah.
No. That's just understanding your game.
Absolutely.
Understanding your game,
and using all the tools to your advantage.
Knowing what adjustments you need to make. Yeah, absolutely.
Meanwhile, Landon's been striking, by the way.
Yeah, just a little measly 270 pace through 7.
It's fine. Kind of normal.
Not really 270 pace, but he has 270 potential.
Yeah.
Through 7.
Hey, he's pacing it. I would call it pace.
Yeah, another good shot there. Yeah, he's got a little more rotation than a lot of the other two-handers, and he's a little softer at the bottom, so his rev rate's not quite as high as some of the other two-handers. So he can kind of get his ball to kind of blend it a little bit better. It's just not as violent of a change of direction of bowling ball. Yeah, so he's just able to have a bit more control. And he's taking advantage of it too.
Yeah. And by the way, Landon had a crazy block at the U.S. Open this year.
Yeah, he sure did.
Yeah, it was a stud. So another example of kids just killing it on the tour. Sorry, Chris.
Hey, I bowled with Griffin at the U.S. Open.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, and he was actually in the cut with about 3 games to go. And fortunately, I mean, they were tough that day, and we hit a couple pairs that just weren't very good, and you know, it just hard to keep it going and seeing the picture, and you know, first ever U.S. Open. I think it's his first one. You know, first ever U.S. Open. You're kind of on the cut line with a couple games to go, and they're tough, and it's a hard spot to be in. But putting himself in that situation, giving himself a chance, I mean, that's just basically some valuable experience that you can't really get anywhere else. So that's, even though it didn't necessarily work out for him that time, I think he's going to be better off for it.
Absolutely. I don't know what everyone's looking at. Everyone's looking down in the middle. I'm not sure what's happening.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, I thought maybe we had a 300 watch, but not the case.
Doesn't appear so.
No, there's no striking. Anyway, yeah, I think you're right on. Griff is good too. Both Landon and Griff.
Oh,
both
yeah.
Team USA. I think a lot of these kids, like Caitlin told me, and I'm not sure if Landon is in the same boat, but some of them are leaving here and going to team camp this week.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I think the developmental team is there at the current moment.
Okay. Yeah, that's why you don't see Brady and some of the other kids, Mateo.
Yep. So yeah, the I guess it was not technically U15, but it typically they put some of the younger players on the developmental team just to kind of get them ready for the junior team, and so that they're there now. Then the youth team, I believe, goes right after this, though, and then some of them actually will have to miss junior gold.
I've heard that.
Yeah, because the World Championships is actually during junior gold, or it overlaps enough to where you can't bowl junior gold and bowl World Championships both. So Yeah, I think is it 4 on each side?
Yeah,
I think it's
Caitlin
4.
Abaganya, I know, is not going to be at Junior Gold this year.
Yeah, I think it's 4
Yeah.
on each side that they took in Seoul, South Korea. Love that place. Absolutely love that place, and I think the kids will enjoy it, especially this time of year.
Yeah.
Way better than when I go.
It's Caitlin. I really like her game a lot. It's nice and yeah. It's not much you need to say about
Yeah, I
that.
can't really say too much about that one. Pretty solid there.
Yeah. These college coaches, it used to be when you left the youth ranks and went to college that there were some kind of obvious things that you needed to work on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's the case anymore.
I don't want people to take this the wrong way, but I think it's becoming easier to be a college coach. It's still not easy by any stretch of the imagination.
It's a lot of dedication.
And there's a lot more that goes into it than just physically coaching somebody.
Yeah.
Way more than I understand that. But when you take a lot of that out, that opens up a lot of free time to do other things. And obviously there's still other things you got to do.
Yeah.
But, and there's still way more that goes into it. But, if there's a large chunk of time you can save by, hey, there's 3 or 4 of these players that have these issues that just kind of keep reoccurring, and I got to keep kind of going back to it. It's like, man, well, I can just get a bunch of these players that already have really solid physical games. I can help them out with lane play or ball choice or whatever, and then all of a sudden, oh, okay, well, now that just saved me 6 weeks of work, and and now we can kind of work on something else. But
not to mention, like, I think college seasons, I remember when I was in college, the one thing that always was scary was you would meet the team in or have tryouts in September, right? Because you can't really start the team before everyone's at the college and moved in.
Mm-hmm.
So you're limited. And then the first tournament is October. So you really had a month to get, depending on when your school starts. A lot of them start in August now, but a month and a half. If there's some real issues with a player that you have, fundamentals, right? You don't have a lot of time before it is tournament season, and then you're going.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, then it turns into, well, now your second half of the year basically is when we're going to start using you, because you can actually have have some faith in them. But yeah, it's like I said, we just go back to how good these kids are at such a young age, and
they're at a huge advantage.
I mean, yeah, these college coaches are just licking their chops, like man.
Yeah.
It's like 10 years ago, I was, getting people that averaged 190 on house shot.
Right.
And now you got people averaging 220, 230 on sport shots.
And you have a ton of kids to choose from.
Yeah.
Probably the recruiting is harder now, because you're kind of
I agree, because now there's so many opportunities and so many different places to go, and now NIL is a thing.
Yeah.
And it's not quite as big in bowling, but it's still a possibility of, it's like, hey, I can go to this school and they can give me this sponsorship, and it pays, whatever X amount of dollars, and that gets me, whatever that I don't have to pay for, or I don't have to pay for food, when I'm at school, or whatever it is, where it relieves a lot of stress. And, there's some schools that can't necessarily, compete with that.
Right.
And so that, it makes it a little tougher for the smaller schools. But there, like I said, there's so many more bowling programs now, and the talent is so spread out. Like, when I was bowling, Indiana Tech had a team, but I mean, they weren't really any good. They were really never any competition. And now they're like one of the best teams in the country.
Absolutely.
And they're only getting better. And one of the kids I coach is going there. And I think he said there's a couple other players that are going there.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy how good, I don't want to say random teams, but it's like schools that aren't bowling powerhouses, or schools that you would think of right off the bat, are becoming incredibly good bowling schools.
Well, and these kids kind of can make a team, right? Like, they can, if you have some buddies and you're like, man, there's not really a school that fits me, but this school over here fits all of us. We
Yeah.
can go and create this team, right?
Yeah,
And
we're
it
gonna
takes a
bowl,
minute,
and we're gonna
right?
bowl from the start.
Yeah,
Like we're gonna get playing time. We don't have to worry about sitting on the bench. And
yeah.
yeah, it's
a
pretty.
whole new
It's
world.
almost like the NBA.
Yeah.
It's like creating their own teams and creating super teams kind of everywhere they go.
Yeah. Jeremy and Heather Combs are in with Tech. They're shouting out Indiana Tech.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he's going there.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, Jaden's there. He just finished a year.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
he's already there.
Yeah,
he's already
he was
there.
in the live stream yesterday, so he loves it.
Yeah, so-
Totally loving it.
yeah,
Also loving how much there is to bowl, like outside of college. Like I guess that
yeah. I mean,
that
you're in-
area has
yeah.
sweepers and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's
you
cool.
can't. Hard to beat.
Yeah.
Hard to beat.
Chris, we're in these never-ending loop of live stream.
Yeah, we are in the. We get no breaks because one pair is starting, with
Yeah.
the other pair is halfway done, or
Yeah.
whatever.
Here we
but,
go.
But hey, we get Anna Anthony on the
She
live
is
stream pair. We get
incredible.
Kendall Craig. We get Mel.
Yeah.
My man MJ also rocking Chris Vi jersey today.
You might have the most jerseys in the building today.
I disagree. I've already seen about 8 of Darren's. I should say
Aw.
8 of Randy's.
Yeah, don't give Darren the
Yeah,
credit.
I
What
should
are you
say
doing?
8 of Randy's.
Yeah. I was trying to pull up Anna Anthony, trying to catch it before they start putting scores in.
Oh, Josh is on this pair as well.
Oh, nice.
Josh Weems.
Anna Anthony is still leading U15 girls, and you're about to see why. She is pretty good. All right, we've got on this pair Kendall Craig, Joss Weems, Mel Sim, MJ, Anna Anthony, Anthony Swanson, and Emma Yoder. And Emma was up there in the U18 girls, so got some more studs coming. I really think, I mean, this goes back to what we were just talking about, though. Every pair is, every time I say, like, I read off the names, I'm like, yeah, they're all good bowlers.
Yeah.
Which makes it even more incredibly hard to win one of these events, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, people don't realize how much it takes. Like, it's not just striking; it's everything about it.
By the way, Malia's going for the Dutch 200 game here.
Let's go, Malia.
She didn't throw a strike on lane 34, has not missed on 33, going for breaking the Dutch with a strike here.
Let's see if she can do it. She's gonna have a true Dutch 200.
I honestly, I can't tell you the last time I saw one.
I know. I can't either. I don't think I've ever seen one. And Josh strikes. Good job, Josh. You know, speaking of kids and being incredible, Josh has his own bowling brand.
Yeah.
That he started when he was like 5.
Yeah.
Black Unicorn. He has a website. Quinn and
The
Kendall
YouTube page,
are
I believe,
cheering.
right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're cheering for the Dutch 200 down
Yes.
there. They're like,
Hey, you respect.
Yeah.
Game respects game.
anyway, but yes, he has a website. He has a YouTube channel. He's recorded a rap about
Oh,
bowling.
really?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. What else has he done? He just does stuff. He's just Joss being Joss.
That's awesome.
Yeah. A lot of these kids have YouTube channels though.
Yeah.
Which is not like 10 years ago. It would have been like, oh my gosh, but now it's kind of the thing to do.
Yeah, and it's another avenue for them to let their creativity go and kind of, express themselves and have fun challenges with their friends. And, again, I mean, they have a lot more information at their age than we ever had at our age. So even though they're maybe 16, 17 years old, they're still able to share some information with people that, 40 or 50-year-olds that don't necessarily know. So
Right.
it's really, really cool.
And Anthony just keeps getting better and better. Okay, this pair is tight.
Yeah, it is definitely tighter down lane. I mean, Josh is playing a much tighter angle, really not giving away the pocket, so he didn't see it nearly as much. But we saw Mel have the 2-8-10 there, Anthony 2-8-10. Let's see if Anna, wash out. I think she had a flat 10 the first shot, but then she washed out. So, yeah, it's significantly tighter.
Yeah. Take a run. Ah. Spinning there. Thought it might slide over. Anna keeps grabbing her finger. I don't know if she's having that's like a nervous thing or.
What's that?
Anna keeps grabbing her finger. I don't know if she's hurt.
Hope not.
I hope not too, because that would suck.
Just got a text message from Deep. He called me out on saying college coaching's easier. I knew it was gonna happen. As soon as I said it.
You're like, oh, maybe we should say it's more fun because you get more time to do stuff.
Well, I mean, in his case, it's really fun because they win everything.
Yeah, I know, right? That's funny.
No, we love you, Deep.
And here is Emma Yoder, who is going to Jack State.
Yeah. Well, we just saw Caitlin Stahl going to Jack State.
Malia Miscavige.
Malia's going there as well, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's getting a good look at a couple of his incoming players.
Studs.
Got a nice lefty here in Emma.
She is a stud.
Ohio girl.
She's been really, really good for a long time. And
Dad was a great bowler.
Really great bowler.
Yeah, still is.
Yeah.
Doesn't bowl as much now, but still a good bowler.
He makes me laugh because he's always so cool, calm, and collected when he's watching Emma.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, I'm like, thank you. Thank you for being you.
Yeah. It's like, just let her do her thing.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Even last month, Emma bowled with us in Kentucky at Louisville. And there was a gigantic thunderstorm that came through. And when I say gigantic, it was like there was a tornado down the street while the kids were bowling. And the network went out.
Oh, boy.
So the power didn't go out, but everything blacked out.
Huh.
And you could see it was raining outside. So it was not going to come back. And it flickered a few times before, so we're like, okay, it's going to go. But we were making announcements, and Mr. Yoder was just laughing. He was like, I don't know what parents think you can do.
Yeah.
There's nothing to do. We got a rain delay.
Yeah, what do you expect?
Really.
Too funny.
It was really funny. Parents are great at the SYCs. We really appreciate their humor and their kindness and all the things.
I got Rylan Breeze up there on 33.
Oh, good. We got another pair.
Morgan Klein up there on 34. Saw Ethan Caruso throw a shot over there.
He's a stud, too.
We got Amanda Lang, who was closing in on the lead. She's over there on that pair.
Brianna Archibald. She's there, too.
Yeah.
And Kira Magzum. That's another group they're all going to Morgan's going to Wichita. Amanda Lang, I think she's Arkansas State. Rylan is aging out. I'm not sure if he's going to school, but I do know he is ready to take on the adult ranks of bowling.
Okay.
Which is great. He's fantastic. Brianna Archibald, I think she still has a couple years with us. And Kira is another Jack State. So,
wow.
Yeah. They're Jack State loaded. But all the schools. Wichita's going NCAA in the fall for the women.
Yes, I did. Yeah, I remember Holly made that announcement. That's super cool for them.
For sure.
Definitely going to be quite a bit of a change.
Yeah.
But, obviously that program is about as much history as you can possibly have in collegiate bowling. So
kidding.
I'm sure they won't have too big of an issue figuring that one out. It will be interesting to see. Obviously, they're not used to. NCAA. The formats are different. The style of which their tournaments are different, and the travel's a little bit different. So it'll be interesting to see kind of how they transition. How maybe if it takes them maybe a year or so, or maybe they just kind of jump right in and just kind of let the talent kind of take them. But yeah, that'll be quite a bit of a change as well. It'll be kind of just weird, obviously most of the time now the guys and girls can travel together because they're all going to
Right.
the same tournament.
Right. Now they can't.
Now girls will be
Yeah.
going to different tournaments, guys will be going to tournaments. So
Yeah, there's a lot more logistics that
Way
they're
more.
going to have to
Way
figure
more.
out. And for a historic program like that, it's going to be very interesting.
Josh gives that one away, and yeah, it just that pair.
Yeah, it's not
if,
gonna.
if you give it away, it just doesn't really have much of a chance.
Great
See
shot
if,
by Amanda
see if
Ling over
Anthony
there, too.
can make an adjustment here on this right lane. Yeah, double after the 2-8-10 in the first frame. So
Good adjustment.
yeah, it's probably about as quick as we've seen somebody figure it out.
Ethan Caruso, I think, is one of the nicest kids in the field, and I'm gonna get like you got flack earlier. That I'm gonna get flack for saying that because every kid's gonna be like, "Why am I not the nicest kid?"
Yeah,
But he's always so supportive of others and so kind to everyone. Like I always see him talking to other people and encouraging them, and he's a nice kid.
another EYT kid.
Yes, DeAndre teaches him right, and he always thanks us at the tournament. And his parents don't have to tell him to do that. It's like he comes and he always tells us how he's doing, which is great. And the last tournament, he cracked me up because Jake Boxty was on a tear, and he's like, I just can't. Just
Yeah.
can't do what Jake's doing. I'm like,
Oh, I mean, when Jake starts striking, it's. I mean, as I saw at team trials, well, he set the record and then it got broken
Yeah.
2 minutes after. But yeah, that's pretty insane when he starts striking. It is quite hard to keep up. Don't matter who you are.
yeah,
MJ made a ball change.
he's
Got
happy with that.
All right. I mean, hey,
Yeah,
you can make that one.
absolutely. Kira gets one to go. Gets a little left, and she gets a Brooklyn.
I would love to see some quicker bowling balls on this 35 and 36 pair. I think Swanson's throwing a attention star.
Oh yeah,
I think it's a little dark in the kind of settee area, so even going down the lane, that's what it looks like. It looks like an attention star, so that makes a lot of sense to me. And I think Mel was throwing, looked like a TNT and then switched to an idol. And it just seems like they're a little too round, a little too smooth. So I'd love to see him get into something a little quicker, maybe dial back that ball speed just a touch if he could. Let that ball shape around the back.
great pickup from Mr. Ryland. And Michelle is in the chat. Hi, Michelle. It's very nice to see Ryland's godparents this weekend, but we do miss you. And he's going to UNLV. Not sure if he's bowling on the club or not.
Okay.
So you'll see him when you go visit Darren.
I will, yeah.
Probably see him at a tat or two, I think.
Yeah,
That's
that-
why I told his mom, I go, he needs to start bowling the tat as soon as possible.
I'm sure we'll see him at Gold Coast whenever we go practice out there.
There's so much to bowl in Vegas. And
is.
speaking of, so Ryland moved from the east to the west. Brianna moved from the west to the east. So her dad, Scott,
Mhm.
is a great pro shop operator in Idaho. And a few years ago, they made the move to Tennessee.
Mm.
And I think it's been a great move for them. There's a lot of youth bowling in this part of the country.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
so they're traveling on the weekends, going to different things. She's had like a series of injuries, though. I felt for Brie because she has had some like freak accidents happen that have kept her out of the bowling.
Yeah, pretty sure that's an attention star there for Anthony, and
It's working.
it's looking good.
Oh, look. MJ just switched
Oh,
to...
Looks like eternity, I want to say. You must be listening. Yeah, don't mind that. It just, he's not far enough left,
Yeah,
but right idea.
yeah. Oh, good job by Ryland.
Yeah.
Amanda, this is another one that's leaving us sad. I remember her first SYC. It was like at Myrtle Beach. She was so nervous. You know when it's their like first SYC and she was sitting. We have that beach party.
Yeah.
And her and her dad were sitting outside, and I sat down and talked to them. And she made a whole bunch of friends. She didn't have friends that came with her to that one, but the
Mhm.
next tournament was in Orlando, and all her buddies bowled. And then from there, she just has had tons of confidence and had some good events, few medals.
Oh, great spare by MJ. Not an easy one.
No, I don't want to shoot that on this.
Yeah, I think it's kind of crazy because I feel like I've pretty much started working these ever since they've existed.
Yeah, you
And-
have, I think.
Yeah, and now it's like, the kids are aging out, and when they first happened, it was like you just saw the same kids kind of for a year or two, and
Yeah.
no one really left, and now it's like oh, I'm working the SYC, I'll see so and so and so. Oh no, they're
Gone.
they're seniors in college.
Yeah.
And so it's weird to see, but cool to see. You got a bunch of new, younger faces that have stepped in and taken their places and bowling really well. So
Absolutely.
the cycle has begun.
Yeah, Morgan was at the very first SYC in Reno. And now this is her last event.
Yep.
Super sad.
We got
But
Olivia Lizzie just off to our left as well, and she was in second, right? Second or third, I think.
Yeah, she was up there.
She was bowling well, so
Let's see if
she's
there's been some square
within
hits.
camera reach.
Looking at totals right now. Oh, I'm in U15. That will not help us. So overall, Malia is now up at the top. Gianna has moved into third. Caitlin Stoll's in fourth. Emma
Yeah, I
Yoder
think-
sixth.
I think Caitlin might be struggling a little bit today. Can we look at today's scores?
Yeah, for sure. If I remember what pattern they're on, we can. Yeah, I'm not even seeing. Oh, Caitlin.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's
she's-
struggling. Yeah.
Yeah, high game of 173. So struggling a little bit. We're now down to 4 girls in the plus category. So figured as they start to hook a decent amount, especially in the front part of the lane, get a little tighter down lane, scores are going to keep going down the wrong way.
Well, and it can be a lot of pressure if you, if you haven't bowled a lot of SYCs and you find yourself at the top of the
Oh,
leaderboard.
great shot there. Yeah, I mean
That
it's
can be. It's like anything, right?
just any event. You're bowling well, especially sleeping on the overnight lead. You won both the first 2 events or the first 2 blocks, right? You won the gold medal in both of those, and it's one of those. You either have ultra supreme confidence in yourself, saying like, "Hey, listen, no one in this field can beat me. I've
Right.
already bowled on 2 different patterns, and no one can beat me." Or it's the, "Oh man, okay, I got to go in tomorrow and I got to do the same thing." Oh, and actually, Caitlin is on the same pair as Olivia.
Yes.
So we watch her throw a shot now.
She's deep.
And 4-pin.
Yeah.
Yeah, just looking a little confused. Oh, not sure what to do.
Well, this pattern can be, like we've said, right? If you're not in the right place, it can be not only physically tricky, mentally tricky.
Yeah.
Because if you're not striking and you're like, it's not that hard.
Yeah, I think now you can kind of look around. You're not really seeing any scores, so I think it makes it a little, I wouldn't say more comfortable, but
Yeah.
it's not as like, holy crap, I need to start striking because I see 240s everywhere and I'm shooting 180. So you can have a little more patience, but at the same time, game 5 comes around and your patience is already running a little thin.
Right. Absolutely. On the flip side, Olivia Lizzie did not have a very good day yesterday, and she came in.
Substantially better today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what she ate for dinner last night. If it was my guess, it was Wingstop because that's all she talks about eating.
She's big Wingstop.
So-
I had, I'm sorry, I
No,
cut
you're
you
good.
off there, but I had one Wingstop experience in college.
Yeah.
They opened one, like right, basically a quarter of a mile from the school that I went to.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, sweet, like a new wing place, like I'll try it out. They had like this big, opening ceremony thing. It was like basically whatever you bought
Yeah.
wing wise, they just doubled.
Oh,
So it was
wow.
like basically buy one, get one. So
Yeah.
if you bought 6, you got 12.
Yeah.
If you bought 12, you got 20, like whatever it was, right? So a bunch of us went. We went in there. Of course, the place is packed,
Right.
right? So we go 2.5 hours later. The worst part was they were taking orders and taking payment, but they couldn't get the orders out fast enough.
Oh,
So they were
geez.
taking the orders and taking the payment.
And you had to wait.
So I was like,
Yeah.
well, I'm not going
Right.
to pay for this and just leave,
Right.
almost to the point where it probably would have been worth it to leave at that point. But yeah, it was like unreal how long it was. And it was like one, you could tell it was like a regional manager
Yeah.
that knew what he was doing and no one else knew what they were doing. So it was like, no one knew how to make anything. They were just, it was a mess. Like they were 1,000% not ready to be open.
Yeah.
And so there was just people everywhere, and it was just not a good experience. And it legitimately was until late last year before I had Wingstop again. It was probably almost 10 years in between, solely based on my one
Bad
Wingstop
experience.
experience and it taking 2.5 hours to get food. I just never went. And then I went late last year, I think.
Yeah.
And I went, I was like, man, this place is actually pretty good.
Yeah, right?
And so now I've gone back a few times since, but
Yeah. Well, the power of social media. Apparently, Wingstop's garlic Parmesan wings are really popular with the kids. They all
Oh,
post
okay.
about it on TikTok. And So,
I mean, garlic parm in general is just solid.
right?
It's a solid
It's really
choice.
good.
So.
Yeah. So Olivia told me in Kentucky they don't have one up by her. So when she was in
Oh, yeah,
Kentucky,
yeah.
she was super excited to go to Wingstop, and I was like, Wingstop, really? Like, it's like it's weird.
Yeah.
But she's like, we don't have one, and so when I saw her Thursday, I'm like, have you gotten to Wingstop? She's like, oh, we went last night. I'm like, okay, all right.
Got it out of the way.
Yeah. She's like, I
That's too funny.
good pickup by Ethan.
Yeah.
He's going to SCAD. That's a little. SCAD has become the like. Oh, Kendall's also going to SCAD.
They got a little southeast powerhouse down there.
Yeah, and it's like all the creatives are going there. Like if you are not really engineering, STEM, like you go to.
I
Because
tell you
they're
what.
super graphic design,
Yeah,
all that stuff.
Tell you what. Nowadays, I may have gone down there.
Yeah,
They
right.
they have a shoe design program now.
Shoe design.
Yeah, they
Oh,
just I
that's
think
cool.
they just started it this year or last year.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, they have a shoe design program.
Huh.
So
I didn't even
mean,
know that was a thing.
yeah, that obviously kind of limits your line of work a little bit, but that would be pretty fun.
Yeah, for sure. Or at least take a class.
Yeah,
In
like
that,
if
yeah.
I lived in that area, another
Yeah.
nice conversion there, Kindle 5.7. But if I lived in that area, I'd sign up.
Amen.
That'd be
right?
fun.
Just
That'd
take
be
a,
fun to
yeah.
do.
I always liked when I was at school. There were like the 55 plus, or it might be older, 60. I can't remember what it was, but you could, when you were of a certain age, you could just audit classes for free. And I was so jealous of those people because they didn't have to take the test.
Yeah.
They could just come in and chill and like
Yeah.
enjoy
It's
the
like
class.
if I want to go to the class today, I'll go. If I
Right.
want to learn something, or it's like whatever we're learning this week doesn't really interest me. I'm not gonna go.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that'd be cool.
can I do that? I want to do that. Anthony, you called it. You made a little move.
Yeah.
Attention star. Cool.
Yeah, ball is
lined up.
rolling nice.
Yeah.
It's had a little left, a little right. He's got it going on, and yeah, Mel's got the right idea. He had a decent shot here on the left lane, but I think he's still too far right.
Brianna Archibald just turned around. She had left the 5-10, turned around, and they both were gone. She
Love when that
literally
happens.
cannot believe it. And I think her ball was like runaway Brooklyn. So she was like, how
Yeah.
did that even happen? Yeah, if it's out the window, it's out the window. There is no help. There you go.
Yeah, see, right idea is
Ugh.
just so much ball speed that it forces him to stay further to the right, and then he's back into the early hook in the lane. So he needs to definitely step further left where Anthony is, but to do that, he has to throw it slower to allow his ball enough time to make it back to the pocket. So that's a big thing I see with the younger generation, which it's not just something you wake up and you learn how to do, but changing ball speeds, I think, is I don't think it's looked at nearly as much as a younger kid, and I'm 1,000%. I was the same way as
Yeah.
a young kid. I just never thought about it.
Right.
I threw my shot, and if it did something weird, I moved or I changed balls, and I just kept throwing the same shot that I kept throwing. So it's just something that definitely. I mean, these kids are all good enough that they're going to figure it out at some point in time. But when they're able to figure that out and able to know that's the move that they need to make, that's when it gets very scary.
Yeah.
Because obviously MJ is a very good bowler, throws it great. If we can just kind of get him slotted into that right part of the lane with the right ball speed, he could have the same look as Anthony does, and a nice six bagger there.
Good advice for any kids or parents listening of things to work on.
Yeah. Speed adjustment and speed control is it's a difficult thing to work on and to practice on, but it's wild how many times I make speed adjustments over making ball changes or whatever. It's always, you can change a lot
Yeah.
with ball speed.
It's cool. I was trying to see what Gianna is not. She's not doing G things, as her mom says. She's kind of trapped it, maybe.
Yeah, from what I've seen, she gets far enough left. It doesn't go through the pins the right way, 10 pins, and she usually obviously a very good spare shooter, so she can make those. But then she tries to make it strike, and then it goes through the face, or so it's just her ball roll speed. Just balls in general, just not quite matching up to what she's seeing out there. So trying to grind as much as she possibly can.
Yeah. Still in contention. And
Yeah.
long is her. She goes off on long usually.
Yeah, so it's one of those, you try to keep it in play as much as possible. Hopefully you catch a couple good breaks and get a couple hits here and there. And then, you can get to the pattern. Especially now with this being as late in the day as it is, you do as much as you can and then get some good lunch and go from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, from MJ, just not far enough left. Just not far enough left. And that's the other thing, right, where scores are getting weird and getting funky is, if you don't see it,
Right.
then you're just very confused and you don't know what to do, and then it becomes a 160 pretty easily, and it's tough. But then if, like Anthony, he did see it, he made the right move, and now, he's got 250 left on this pair, and Mel is close. He's
close.
going in the right direction,
Yeah.
just not quite making all of the right moves, and he's going to be sub 200. So it's just wild how quickly it can change, and just how much a little zone change can really make all the difference.
Absolutely. Griffin Jordan is wearing a Winnie the Pooh jersey. Do you know the story behind this?
Nope.
I don't either. It's the second Winnie the Pooh jersey we've had today.
But is that also like the red balloon from It? Or is that a different red balloon?
I think there's a red balloon in Winnie the
Yeah.
Pooh. I only know this. Listen,
It's been a long time since I've seen
I had
Winnie
a
the Pooh.
sister who was 11 years younger, so I had to watch a lot of Winnie the Pooh in my teenage years.
Yeah.
Because that was her favorite. I always thought Winnie the Pooh was a little polite. Like, of the kids' shows.
I liked it just because the kid's name was Christopher.
Oh,
So
that makes sense. Yeah,
so
yeah,
that
that's
was
fair.
that was the reason I liked Winnie the Pooh so much. But
Yeah.
other than that,
It
was
was-
Winnie the Pooh. Yeah.
There were some that were funny. Winnie the Pooh was very much teaching about manners, which in your teenage years, that's not always what you want to watch.
No.
Like,
Those go out the window for a few years.
yeah. I'm like, really? We're watching Winnie the Pooh again? Okay.
Yeah, kind of same thing with Anna as
Yeah.
Mel and MJ. Just not far enough left, and this pair, it's just, it's tough to watch. You just want to go up there, and when they get set up, and just move them. It's like, yo,
Yeah.
come on, just get over
Joss,
there.
too. Look at that. Oof.
Yeah, and he was able to use kind of speed and rotation to kind of keep it on the line a bit better. He was kind of able to get it through the front part of the lane a bit better than MJ is, just with his ball roll. And that's what makes it tough. It's unique as well, to where it's like, well, you see what Josh is doing. He had 250 prior to this frame, but then you see Anthony. He's doing something, a similar thing but a different way, and he's got 250 left, and MJ's kind of stuck there in the middle.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the unfortunate miss there for Josh, is that when you're playing those shallower angles and you don't really have the miss left. If we just talk and Anthony splits and big fours.
100%.
Yeah, this is one of those patterns you got to keep moving, even if you're in the right part of the lane. That breakdown is quick, and you gotta make the one step ahead moves. Ball goes high flush, you're moving.
MJ, I like it.
Yeah, closer there.
That
there
was
you
really
go.
good. Yeah.
All right, closer.
So MJ starts very close up and takes a step back.
I think that is just at the current moment, because I think
Okay.
he is trying to throw it a little bit slower.
Okay.
So I think he's trying to mimic like being in front of the ball return to
Okay.
create a little less momentum to the line.
Gotcha.
So
That's not a normal.
I don't think so. No,
Yeah.
I mean, even him setting up for the spare here, he's
He's normal.
quite a bit further back.
It's
so.
interesting. Yeah.
And I've done it too.
Yeah.
I've done it too, even on like left lanes where you got to get so far left that you're really trying to make sure the ball's slow enough to get around the corner that you're just naturally going to build up less momentum the further you are up on the approach. So, I feel pretty comfortable in front of the ball return taking a 3-step approach. So, if I'm doing it on the right lane, I can just mimic the same thing on the left lane. So
Right.
the body kind of gets a little more comfortable rather than going 3-step, 5-step, 3-step, 5-step, and trying to repeat that way. You can just kind of make everything a little bit more similar and in unison. So.
Yeah. I think you're right. It's Mr. Ryland. Ooh, Ryland's lost.
Yeah, good shot there.
Ryland's like, is it lunchtime?
Yeah. I think
Can we
that's
be done?
about
90% of them.
98% of these kids right now. It's get me out of here.
Yeah.
Although, looking down on 39 and 40, got some scores.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that was
the pair that was just
pair
here.
we just saw. We have Landon has 260 going. I can't remember who was right after him, but they got 270 going.
One of them was Brooks. I don't know when
and
Brooks
then,
was.
we got another two. Like that side of the scoreboard has 260, 270, 260 left going into the ninth
Shake
frame.
it off.
So that pair doesn't seem so bad. Kaylin has she can spare here, and she's got 230 left. So yeah, some decent scores over there. So they're looking to get as much as they can right before lunch.
Yeah. Here's Miss Morgan Klein. Morgan was having some, just some like not feeling great yesterday. The heat was really getting to a lot of these kids. It was so hot.
Yeah, it was brutal. This past week, it's been mid 90s, pretty humid. I mean, it's like you walk outside and you feel like you're kind of baking in an oven.
Yeah,
a little bit.
And then if you come inside, it's freezing cold.
Yeah, and then it's super cold in here. So going in and out, it's just it's tough really for anyone.
Yeah.
And then today we got a bunch of rain. So I know when we go outside for lunch, it is gonna feel disgusting.
Yeah. I
I feel like Florida.
Kira Maxim, when I watch her throw, her release is so good.
Yeah.
And I think she's going to Jack State,
Mhm.
and I just think that will be so good for her game.
Oh yeah.
I mean, because she already is really good, and I think learning more about ball motion and what to throw when, and then the speed control you were talking about with her, she has endless potential.
Yeah. So I feel like she's kind of in that same ballpark that we've talked about with MJ and
Yeah.
not getting far enough left yet. Anna Anthony, same way, just never really got far enough left on this pair. I think Kira's kind of the same way, just not quite far enough left. And it's hard because this pattern changes so quick, and a lot of times with the younger kids, actually a lot of them blame themselves more than really anything.
Yes.
To where it's like they throw a shot and it's right. We saw um, Anthony throw a pretty good one, big forward, right? He probably was like, oh man, I just threw it bad.
Yeah.
It's like, no, he's just behind a move.
Yeah.
Again, and a lot of the kids they almost hurt themselves by just continuously blaming themselves, and I'm another product of that. For a long time, I was very big perfectionist, still to this day. It comes and goes, but it's always like, I can throw it better than that. I can throw it better than that. It's like,
For sure.
well, even if you do, the lane isn't going to let you,
Yeah.
so it doesn't really matter. So it's tough and it's hard because they're, especially at this point in the day, I mean they are really really changing. So there you go, MJ. Rylan. Yes, he's trying to get it over the front part. I mean, he always gets it over the front part of the lane. He's like the two-handed Mika,
He is. Yeah.
except for a foot and a half shorter.
Rylan, a long time ago, Rylan quit bowling. He got so fried, frustrated. He was little, like young, not little.
Mhm.
But he quit bowling, and then like a couple years later, he came back, and he came back with like a vengeance.
Yeah.
Like he was good before, but after that, he's like always up there.
Yeah, sometimes you need the reset.
Yeah. Olivia Lizzie, just off your screen, that's her right there. She's on like a spare challenge over there. She's making all her spares. Dell, if you're watching, always
Yeah,
yelling
9
out the
spare, 7
spares.
spare, 7 spare, 8 spare, 8 spare, 7 split spare, 9.
Yeah.
I hope you didn't announce or jinx her.
I hope not either, but
This is a 5-pin, so
we did talk about how stressful it is when you're shooting a lot of spares, that sometimes a misspare happens because you shot like 500 spares.
yeah, it's like just probability wise, you're gonna miss one eventually.
Right.
But some days you're just locked in, and some
Yes.
days it just doesn't happen, and then the next day you miss double the amount to make up for it.
Yeah. So Anthony Swanson finished with a 222. Who had bowler on that pair? F was Emma Yoder.
Yeah, Emma 230. Unfortunately, 9 out there in the 10th, but still a good game.
Yep. And then we had Mr. Joss with the 224. I'm handed a score sheet. I can do it. I got this.
Multitasking, entering in scores
Shout
and
out
commentating.
to our friends at Bowl Metrics for making scorekeeping so easy. It takes a minute.
Really does. Even I could do it.
Trudette.
Amanda Lang, unfortunately, hasn't quite figured out this pair. Can spare strike to be in the 170s. Ethan be bowling on 34, shooting the 5.9. He can spare strike to be in the 220s.
Yeah, so maybe our 300s are tonight. Or this afternoon,
Yeah,
I shouldn't say tonight.
Yeah, this pattern, it was going to be tough for us to see a 300, but yeah, maybe the long pattern would be a little bit more straightforward for him and be able to get some strings going. We always want to send the kids off on a nice note for the trip back home. Like man, I crushed him that last block.
Exactly. That's the intent.
Yeah.
Yeah, that check on him was a lot. All right, I keep looking down at this one pair. I'm hoping that that's just an error and there isn't a pair that has to start another game.
I don't think so, because I think that would be one of these pairs over here.
Yeah, I don't think they do. I think that's just an error. So we are wrapping up here. We will be back at 2:30 for our final round, Chris.
Yeah.
We will find out where people are sitting. We'll find out if there's any close divisions, which this morning they weren't like super close. They were kind of close.
Yeah, but I think
There was
most
potential.
I think most of them have closed
Yeah.
back in.
Yeah,
'cause
they have.
You get enough different patterns, you get enough different looks that maybe somebody doesn't like a certain one, or somebody bowls well on one, and scores can move around a decent amount. So you never ever know.
And for the record, Olivia picked up her spare and left another 9. And it's not even the same thing. It's not like she's leaving all 10 pins or 7 pins. It's like everything. But if you have been joining us, thanks for watching. We hope you come back at 2:30 to watch some more bowling. Chris, what are you having for lunch?
I have no idea. But we started talking about wings and
Oh yeah,
Wingstop and Roosters and Shakers, and now I'm real hungry.
it's true.
Now I'm real hungry.
You know, the bowling center brought in food trucks for the weekend, which has been a fantastic.
Is there another one today?
Yeah, it's a burger one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the kids
Yeah,
have
maybe
been
we'll,
pre-ordering.
maybe we'll just do that.
Yeah, there you go.
Unless I'm sure I'll be about 100th in line. So.
Yeah, you probably better. You know the area. See, the reason we brought the food trucks in for the kids is the bowling center didn't want to overtax their cafe,
Mm-hmm.
and we didn't want them to get lost.
Fair. Fair.
There's a lot of stuff in Columbus, and all of a sudden you can end up in traffic and not really.
And not make it back in time. Although Ohio traffic isn't really traffic.
It's not, but
It's
it's
like-
like pockets of like
Yeah, it's just
nonstop.
a little slowdown.
Yeah,
That's all
slow
it
down,
is.
that's
It's not
what
really
it
it's not
is.
really
Yeah.
a traffic.
It's true.
It's a minor inconvenience.
Yeah, true that.
Except for when I go home from the pro shop, man, I tell you what, that 12-minute drive can turn into 45.
Yikes.
Yeah. I'll look at my watch and be like, nah, I'll wait. Just hang out here for a little bit longer.
I'll
This is
grab a
not
snack.
This is not a good time to leave.
All right, Brianna here. She struggled a little bit. Still a solid game for this pattern. I don't think scores are as high as they think
No.
they are.
Kira, good shot there. Still
Really
got
good shot.
220 left out there.
Yep. She's gonna finish up our live stream. Caitlin Peck needs a reset at lunch.
Yeah.
She's gonna press the reset button. Hello, I'm here. Let's reset it.
Yeah, I think there's going to be quite a few of those.
Yeah.
Scores were they were lower than I thought.
What's your like reset meal? Do you have a meal that you're like, okay, I have to go and eat this in between? Do you have one?
No, I don't really have one that specifically jumps out as like a reset meal.
Okay.
Just something that, isn't too much. Usually if I'm bowling a tournament and I have another block coming up, I try not to eat anything too heavy.
Yeah.
I would prefer to have a lighter lunch and then just kind of snack if I need to while I bowl with like, a granola bar or some, crackers or something like that.
I like that.
Just, because you go and you eat something heavier and then, your fingers could swell up and then you just don't feel that good. And, typically then you're a little tired, you got a little food coma going. So then you start a little sluggish and, so I would prefer just something light, something simple.
Like it. All right. 225 for Kira.
Yeah.
Wraps it up.
Yeah. Good finish there.
Chris, thanks for joining us this morning.
Absolutely.
And we will be back at 2:30.
We'll see you guys then.
You've been watching the 2024 SYC Super Slam Ohio. The SYC Super Slam Ohio would not be possible without the generous donations from our sponsors: Storm Bowling, Cool Wick, PBA Junior, KEGEL, Turbo 2-in-1 Grips, 3G Shoes, Ray's Eyewear, Ballard's Bowling Academy, Master Industries, Quality Respite and Home Care, and by T&D Transportation. Special thanks to the official scoring system of the Storm Youth Championships, Bowlmetrics. The preceding was produced exclusively by Storm Bowling. For more information on upcoming events and more, please visit stormbowling.com. Once again, thanks for watching.